Okay, here we are again with the start of a new project. Get my wristband on real quick, hold on. And then we'll see who's here. And then we'll get ready and get going. I don't know how much it's coming through in my voice. My mother gave me a quick 1 to 2 day cold. I actually started feeling it like almost immediately after Slay the Princess ended on Sunday. And then sick as a dog for the past 2 days. Well, I shouldn't say that, making it sound like I'm dying. It's not like what I have. I don't know what I have now, but it's far better than when I had COVID over the winter break because I couldn't do basically anything. It's just stuffy, head feels plugged up, little like scratchy throat. And that's about it, so I can't really complain too hard about that. There were a couple of body aches, but I think mostly the body aches and the headache were just like... The body aches were probably just inflammation. The headache was probably coming from the fact that I was blowing my nose so much. And overall, I feel a million times better today than I did yesterday, so I'm on the up and up. I think by Friday it should be, whatever it is, it should be gone. Let me grab my water real quick, though. Hold on. All right. Let's see what we got here. A lot of chat already. Looks like, let's see. Well, Pad's here. Gally's here. Hello, Gally. Welcome to the stream. How you doing? Pine's here as well. Pad and Pine, welcome back. Let's see. Yeah. I just have to stretch at the very beginning of the streams. If I don't stretch, I will probably pull something in the middle of the stream. It's not a good thing. So it will probably be a while before I can do anything together-wise. I'm not even sure how I feel about doing like online play, especially since, you know, and now that I think about it, I don't have Nintendo Switch Online, so I don't I don't even think I can get online even with the code now that I think about it. So it might be even longer. Sorry. And Pengs is here as well. Hello, Pengs. How you doing? Welcome back. I don't even know what a Calyrex is, actually. I think I might be a little behind the times when it comes to Pokemon, because that doesn't look like something familiar. Huh. I don't know. But hello. Hello to everybody. OF, search it on Google. I'm sorry to say, you have hair cancer. Oh no, my poor hair. Oh shit. Okay. Well, I guess my hair's falling out, guys. Sorry to say it. It's gonna spread to my brain, and then I'll just be gone. This is, you know, this is the saddest day, but that's okay. We'll still make it work. Let's get started. Oh shit. I need a system update too? I thought this was all set and ready to go. Okay, well, I guess we might as well update it. I didn't even click on this before plugging this in. I just plugged it in, made sure that everything would look right and work right, and, well, here we are. Getting off to a good start here. That's for sure. All right, there it goes. Now we wait. Make sure that the volume is on. Volume is on. Okay. Now we can start. Sorry about that. Didn't realize that I would need that. Oh well. Yeah, wah wah. It's fine. It's not like we're trying to be professionals around here. The thumbnail looks good, but that doesn't mean necessarily we're professionals around here. It's all fine and good. Really, honestly, if I'm being realistic about this, I should probably play in Espanol, but like at the same time, I don't know if that's really something that I can even fathom. I can read some Spanish, but I don't think I can read enough Spanish to get through the whole game, especially once they start getting into like the weird conjugation rules, because I know they do that with French as well, and like I can do past, present, and future tense in French and some Spanish, but like once they start getting into like the conditional things, I got nothing. I got absolutely nothing, man. Okay, well, anyway, the game does not boot to the title screen, so I suppose on this avatar select screen we can say, hello everybody, how you doing? My name is Monochromium, and this is our next stream project. This is Pokémon Violet. I guess I should start from the top. When I played, the first Pokemon game that I played for the stream, not the first Pokemon game I played for the channel, the first one I played for the stream was Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. And at the end of that game, I said it's unlikely that I would ever play a Pokemon game that was released after Let's Go Pikachu, because I didn't like how they handled Sword and Shield after roping in all the Pokemon Go players with the Let's Go games to try to get them in on the scene, only to deliver an inferior product. Then Gen 9 came out, and, well, I have so many things to say that it's beyond my own comprehension. So rather than trying to say all of them at the same time, I think it would be better to just go through the game and say them a little at a time so that they don't break my brain, because they will break my brain if we don't do that. So that was the thought process, and that's why we're here. So let's pick our avatar. I'm going to be myself in this playthrough, because as far as the 3D Pokemon games, like the coverage we've done, I have not played as myself in any of them. I've played as, in Let's Go Pikachu, I played as Janae, which is the female counterpart, and I played as just the main characters who were not named after me in the Pokemon Coliseum and XD streams. So since I haven't played as myself yet, let's just play as myself in the 3D coverage, and then we will, go from there. When I play the 2D Pokemon games, I won't be like limiting myself. It won't be like, oh, one person per, like I can only play as myself once per thing. No, we're not going to do that in the 2D Pokemon games that I cover, but most likely after this point, like I've thought about it, and I don't think there's any other, sorry, hang on. I've thought about it, and I don't think there's any other 3D Pokemon games that I would want to cover after this one. I've said that before, but I don't think that's going to be something I'm going to go back on after this. Sorry, had to cough. It would not get out of my throat even when I drank water. There we go. This is an epic first impression. I don't know how it's spelled. That's okay. You can translate it as Pokemon Violence. Nice, remember. You wanted to look divine. I get it. Something like that. Alright, so we'll do a little avatar customization. We'll, I think it's this one, if I remember correctly. Yeah, it's this one. I just like the look of this one. It kind of looks like, because what they did when I went to the hairstylist the last time is they actually tapered it. That's what it's called. They tapered my hair. Not like this, where it's just literally like really long at the top and then almost gone at the bottom, but like they tapered my hair so that my beard and my mustache would like be... It would all look together, basically, when they did it that way. So that's kind of the look I'm going to go for in the game. I think it looks nice. So, that being said, I did shave off my mustache and my beard shortly after, because it is summertime, it is way too hot to be having that stuff all over the place on my face. You can make your hair denim colored? I just always went with dark brown, because that's just my hair color. I didn't even look at the other options. Oh my god, this is just such an impression I'm giving at first. And I mean, you know, honestly, like I think about it, and it's kind of okay, because I would consider this playthrough that we're going to be doing, I promise eventually in a minute once I'm done doing this customization stuff, I would consider this playthrough to be the counterpart to my buddy Frank Trode. He did a playthrough, he's still, actually, there's ongoing coverage of it, where he played Pokemon Scarlet, and it was his first impressions of the game as well. So I've played Violet before, so you can consider his like a first impressions playthrough, whereas this one is more of a like, I've already done this before, let's, you know, see how we can break it apart and do some interesting things with it, you know. So, what's the difference between that one and one? It's just wider. Okay. I don't know, I'm kind of okay with that, honestly. Let's see. Maybe commentary, considering how my throat's already complaining and it's been 5 minutes. Maybe I should have delayed this till tomorrow, but that's okay. We will make it through. I've literally made it through with the flu before. So this isn't the right color, brown. There it is. There we go. I've literally made it through commentary for 3 hours with the flu before, so I think I'll be okay. Although I was a little bit younger the last time I did that, so I don't know exactly how, Oh, okay, just make the eyelashes longer. If I remember right, these are... Okay. No, not those ones. Nope. Makes it look a little iffy there. Those are okay. They're a little weird once you start growing them out, but... Like, it just looks like... you know, actually, those look kind of good, honestly. It just kind of looks like eyeshadow rather than actual... And, I mean, I guess it's a Nintendo system, so I shouldn't expect... Sorry. I shouldn't expect anything ridiculous, but... You know. I just... It looks like it's painted on, but, you know, it's fine. What the heck was that noise? I don't know what that's all about. Okay, anyway. It sounds like the dog is up the ramp up here. Up the stairs. Or whatever, I don't know. I don't know what the heck is going on downstairs right now, that's the point. You guys probably can't even hear hardly any of it, but, something's going on down there. What was this originally? It was B? Or Brow A2? I mean, Brow A2 is fine, probably. These just don't look quite as... no, it's a little too... Like, I mean, honestly, this is probably, like, the most eyebrow of eyebrows on here, but at the same time, I think I'm okay with the way that it was, honestly. He's probably going to end up looking very similar to what the regular characters look like anyway, so... Stream is all about making the character fire. That's the gist of it. Yep, that's all we got going on. Just do the customization while I ramble at the very beginning, and then eventually we'll figure out what else we're doing. So... let's see. Let's keep going. I don't know how to feel about these, like... These ones. Am I just being, like, too... Like, it just looks weird, you know what I mean? Am I just being too, like, sensitive to that stuff? But it just looks bizarre to me. I don't know. Yeah, it sounds like she's right next to the door over there, and I don't know what they're doing or why that's the case. I'm gonna go check. Hold on 1 second, sorry. Give me a sec. Okay. False alarm. It sounded like she was right next to the door because the door was closed, so, or open rather than closed, so that's why. The dog is good. The dog is moving, and and it's making the dog noises. Yeah, I just don't know why she's barking, I guess. I mean, I guess she's just barking because she's a dog. That's, you know, what a dog does. But which one's the beauty spot? I knew there's one of these that... Let's see. Hang on, let me touch my face. Right side. This is it. Okay, so I need to have that beauty spot there. And then the freckles, we don't have those anymore because I'm old, so... Alright, I think that's it. I think we've got a character that I can be happy enough with. So let's do that. And off we go. Rather than getting shrunk into the world, we just get pushed back a little bit, and now here we go. We are enrolled at this place called Uva Academy. Hey Chuck, how you doing? What's up? Welcome to the stream. Is this first playthrough? No, this is what's the second playthrough? Second playthrough. I've played it. This will be the second full playthrough. I've played it a couple of times where I haven't completed it, but I've done one full playthrough, and this is the second full playthrough. So Nice, love Scarlet. Yeah, a friend of mine played Scarlet for his channel, so I looked at the list of Pokemon for Violet and I said, okay, well, this will be a good compliment to his. And also, there's a lot of good exclusives in this one that I like, so. In any case, Uva Academy leading the way into the future while valuing our individuality. Is that what their slogan is? Fair enough. Wonder who that guy is. It's time for you too to dive into the world of Pokémon. My eyes. So what do you have to say for us, Director Clavel? Paldea is a sprawling region bursting with lush nature and magnificent landscapes. I'm not going to read everything, I'm just going to read this part, I guess. It is also, of course, home to the mysterious creatures known to us as Pokémon. They reside here in great numbers, in fact. I probably shouldn't read this because it's supposed to be in his voiceover, right? And we don't know what he sounds like because I don't think he has an official voice actor yet. What is that supposed to be, exactly? The Pikachu ripoff of the region? I guess. But Pokemon can be found living all over, in the seas, in the skies, even in our cities and towns, and ideally this time none of them are Shadow Pokemon. We humans coexist with Pokemon as we both help one another and to live and thrive. Uva Academy is here to help you learn even more about these precious partners. And if I'm honest, I kind of like the setup of there being a school in the game, but we can talk about that when we get to the school. Within our halls, people from all regions gather to study together, especially to learn how they make rock salt from this Minecraft mushroom. And as Pokemon trainers, they have their Pokemon do battle growing alongside them. While our robust curriculum of coursework helps our students draw forth their fullest potential. If I'm honest though, I liked Earl's Academy better. It is within these halls that you will find your friends, your Pokemon, and your true self. We, the faculty and staff at Uva Academy, can't wait to welcome you with open arms. Sounds like a cool enough place. Smash cut to motorcycle glider with eyeballs. And there's our intro. It's a bit of a jump, guys. It seemed pretty innocuous, and then all of a sudden this. Though I suppose if they wanted to have one of those flyovers that they always do in the Pokemon movies, this is just as good an excuse as any, you know? I didn't fully check the audio, by the way. Let me know if the music is too loud or if the commentary is not quite balanced. I'll fix it, and we'll go from there. Oh, he does have an English dub actor in the anime? Okay, gotcha. Song hits hard for a school. Know what else is hitting hard? Ow! The ocean is the thing that's hitting hard. Hope he's okay. Crazy electric guy floating into an ocean. It's not the best landing you could have. I hope he didn't short circuit or something. You have a Whooper outbreak, so shiny hunting time. Nice. Awesome. Nice switch as well. It has pixelated eyes. It does, in fact, have pixelated eyes, Marie. Can't escape from the pixelation. It's just one of those things that we live with, no matter what generation of Pokemon we're in. Something's going to be pixelated. Actually, I don't know if Sword and Shield had anything pixelated. Well, no, actually, the icons on the Pokemon screen, I think, were pixelated in some way. They don't have those icons in this game. They have almost something that looks like stickers instead, but, well, we'll get there. Alright, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the options menu and I'm going to turn off this autosave because we don't need that. Let's see, skip move learning, no, send to boxes. Yeah, might as well leave that automatic. Give nicknames, yep, that's fine. These are fine, I don't think I have to invert anything. I would hope not. This game came out in 2023. They should know what regular and inverted mean by that point. No, definitely don't track when I use the left stick. This is fine. Set that to far. No more auto-saving. Show nicknames. Don't want to skip cutscenes. We're going to do that, I think. Or... no, I think I'm going to leave that there and then do that. We'll do that. No controller rumble. I guess we can leave the helping functions on. That's pretty innocuous. I'm going to fall from great heights pretty often in this game, actually. Which is surprising because most Pokemon games force you to keep your feet planted very firmly on the ground, but, you know. Wow, that's going to get damaged. Wait, is that a town map on the wall or that you will never use? Probably. Let's go look. Let's go find out. Yes, it is in fact a town map. This house will be down in the lower part because we are on the beach area. I guess you don't really need a town map in this game because you have a smartphone, and the smartphone, well, has a town map functionality on it. But, morning, Squavit! You're not getting up into mischief again, are you? Alright, now, come on, man. How many times did I tell you not to be shoving breakfast in while Mom can't look? She's gonna kick you out one of these days. You're a freeloader. It's just, you just eat food, and nobody, like... I understand that you're cute, but you can't keep flying on cute looks forever. She's gonna kick you out one of these days. Oh, man. Morning, Mom. Yeah, I figured I'd need to get ready bright and early. It's a bit of a walk. Thanks, I guess, excited myself. Really? But doesn't the bell ring in a couple of hours? Oh. Okay. Wonder what that's all about. Very important, huh? I wonder if it's marked very important on the package that we'll be getting. His room looks better than your whole house. Yeah, that's real, honestly. Like, I got a 10 by 12 box with an old window that's falling apart, blinds that are currently bending at a 30-degree angle, and a fan that no longer has fan in it. So, real. 2023. Yeah, if I remember correctly, that's when this game originally came out, as 2023. I could be misremembering. It could have been... no, I'm pretty sure it wasn't 2022. I'm pretty sure it's 2023, but I could be wrong. If you clean a tiny bit of your room would be that clean too. You're just not in a good place right now. No, that's okay. Honestly, I understand. Like, it's tough sometimes, especially with all the adult responsibilities, be cleaning and everything. This is already over a year old, yeah, for sure. La Madre. What is it with Pokemon mothers all being single mothers outside of Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald? I don't know. It's a really... I think at this point it's just a trend that they've been following. Oh, okay. Well, maybe that's the very important thing, yeah. Alright, I'll get the door. Sure it's not the side door? No, it's the front door. Alright, now you don't get into trouble. I'm telling you, man. It's not okay anymore. I'm just worried about your safety. Oh, good morning. I was gonna say it was unlocked, but okay. Master Gym? I don't know about that. Oh, you know, actually, that makes a lot of sense. My enrollment documents, I would kind of need to be enrolled before I could go to the school, so. Being fatherless is a requirement now. Oh my god. Anyway, here's Mr. Clavel. Yeah, usually they send someone else to do their handiwork, don't they? I guess he's a little more involved than most of them. Well, the school's giving a good first impression right off the bat, so... here are the documents you need, in a shopping bag. Don't think I wasn't going to catch that. Okay, fair enough. Oh, you're going to make me wear that stupid sun hat to school? Really? Fine. The Kappa? What are we from, Galar? Probably. There's a couple of little, like, lines like that where they have English, like, ticks to some of the words that they say in this game, and it makes me wonder if that's a holdover from Sword and Shield, like they have that just because, or if it's because of the fact that the characters that say them were originally from Galar. I think in one case it is because she was originally from Galar, but I could be wrong about that. So. Anyway, get the bag on, get the stupid hat on. I look ridiculous. I need to put some pants on, man. Like, these shorts are too short. Youngster Joey would be in shambles right now. Wait, he's not the shorts guy. Never mind. I don't remember the name they gave to the shorts kid in Fire Red and Leaf Green, now that I think about it. I think they gave him a name in Fire Red and Leaf Green, but I don't remember what it is. Youngster Joey's the top percentage Rattata youngster, rather than the shorts youngster. So many iconic trainers in this world. Maybe I'll be one of them someday. I mean, I guess so. Like I said, I'm not a big fan of this hat, but it's okay. I only have to wear it for a little bit. Like about 5 more minutes. What? Oh, I figured the enrollment documents were just the most important thing, but sure. Okay. Must be something important. Bagon? Boy, Bagon would be nice. I think Bagon is a Scarlet exclusive, though, so I don't think I'll be getting Bagon in this playthrough. There's a lot of cool dragons in this game, but I don't think Bagon is... And Violet, specifically. I don't think Bagon's one of them. Neither is Dino. And quite honestly, that was probably one of the biggest sacrifices I had to make not playing Scarlet. I was like, Hydreigon? I gotta get rid of Hydreigon? Aww. Okay, well, anyway. Oh, okay. You know, I don't have a Pokemon, right? So this isn't gonna work out if you're trying to battle me. Oh, okay. Well, as long as it's not a triple battle. Hello. Oh, that's what this is. Okay. So we get to pick our starter Pokemon, just like always. We have a choice between a grass Pokemon, Sprigatito. Cute. Fuecoco. No thoughts, head empty. And Quaxley, the exchange student. I don't know why Quaxley just has like a very Germanic name, whereas the other two have very Spanish names, but I mean, whatever they decided to do. It's weird though, because then Quaxley evolves and all of a sudden you get to Quaquaval and it has a very Spanish name. Hi guys! I mean, I guess I'm something new. You're staring at me like wide-eyed children. Oh, okay. So what do you want me to do with them? No, I guess they'll just follow me over then. That's fine. There is a following system in this game where the Pokemon will walk around with you like they did in Let's Go Pikachu, but, oh, I have words about the following system in this game, trust me. It was so good in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, and... gotta hold it in. Can't talk about it right now. So many things to say. Have plenty of time to say it. Want to say them all right now. Can't. Okay. Sounds like a plan. Man, I'm getting a lot of stuff today. What am I getting? Oh, my Rotom phone. Okay, must be back from the shop. Thanks. Or it's the newest model. It is the newest model. Okay, fair enough. You know what I always wondered? So, like, Rotom is a ghost that inhabits electronic items, right? Why did they never do that with Porygon? Porygon's, like, a program, right? It's a Pokemon that is literally a computer program, so why did they never use it for any of the smart devices in the games? Like, is it because of the Electric Soldier incident? They just didn't want to associate Porygon with that stuff? I mean, they gave him evolutions, unlike Jinx, which was associated with blackface. So, I don't know, it seems weird for them to skip out on using Porygon as... There's a lot of electronic devices, so why not have Porygon installed on some stuff? I don't know. Hey John, how you doing? Welcome back. Looks just like you, minus a few feet. Yeah, this is like the 5'11" me versus the 6' me, right? Springs! Man, the uniform looks so bad. We'll be able to fix it a little bit in a minute, so... Those are just school uniforms. Look, as long as it's not a triple battle, yeah. It's the Weed Cat. They killed triples in Gen 7. It made you so sad you're working on a gimmicky AF triples team that used Rototiller. Who remembers that Rototiller exists? Oh, God. I barely remember Rototiller, and I played Gen 5, where I'm pretty sure they introduced it. The Let's Go system. Tear them apart. I'm going to work on it. We are not debating this. We get the cat, me, but I don't know how it works. Probably because they're still reeling from Electric Soldier. Yeah, probably. Not debating this, we get the cat. So that's a thought. I don't know if... I don't know if I'm going to put it to a vote, because here's the issue that I'm going to get at here. Well, you know, let me have them walk around first for a second, and then we can talk about the issue that I'm going to have, so... I mean, if Rotom got lost, it would just inhabit another electronic device, so it would probably be okay. But what if it likes it in there? I don't know. Anyway. Fuecoco, what do you smell? I like oranges. That's just his voice in my head. I don't know why. You're forced to walk around for the first little bit, so I'm going to walk down the hill to the point where it lets you run, and then after that is when I'm going to come back, because there's some stuff to pick up. But I'm going to walk down the hill first to that point. Stopping to smell the roses, Sprigatito? And I think if I remember right, yeah, you can pull the camera in a little closer if you press in the right stick, so... Come on, Sprigatito, we gotta get down the hill. Staring out at the ocean? You know, we can find some cool Pokemon down there if we, go looking after the tutorial's over. They're actually pretty high level, too, so you can get some really strong stuff, like, almost right away. It's kind of ridiculous, actually. Cabo Poco must be where we live. What's the sign say, Fuecoco? I can't read. It's probably true. Okay, we can run now, thank God. Alright. Let's talk to this lady, and then we'll go fix our outfit, 1, and 2, we'll go backwards. I think it's left, if I remember right, to do this? Yeah, okay. So, right away, as soon as you start, once you're able to run, you can change out your uniform. So you've got 4 uniforms here, spring, summer, autumn, and winter. I'm going to wear the spring uniform because it has pants, and the suspenders, I think, look pretty good. There's one little thing we need to do to complete the outfit, though, and thankfully you do get some halfway decent options right away for these things, even though it's not necessarily the best. I'm going to stick with the gray socks, I think. I don't think these look too good, though. Yeah, they're a little blocky, and they don't really look good with the backpack. I don't think you have a, excuse me, backpack option other than this one and like one other one I don't like, at least at first. We'll be fixing the uniform situation soon. The school gloves I don't think look very good. Yeah, we'll get better ones later. There's a canvas backpack. See, and it doesn't even really match with the shoes they give you, so I don't really like that one. We'll stick with the school backpack for now. Thankfully, they do, however, give you a sporty cap right away. And all that activates my Gen 1 vibes. Look at that. So much better. Oh my god, just so much better than the other cap they give you. I'll even wear some glasses because I don't even know if I need the reading glasses I have anymore, but they do make me look a little bit better, I think. I think this is the look, basically. I think this is the look, so... yeah, let's go with this outfit. See? So much nicer. So much better than what it was. All it took was a quick fix. Yeah, finally, good clothes. Oh my god. Pick the little guy that looks the most likable little guy. We have Rotom washing machines. Yeah, that's true. We do have Rotom. Lots of different devices as well. See this area and all you remember is that this game is the bane of speedrunners. Yeah, you know, I haven't watched a speedrun of this game, but I can't imagine it's any good in terms of, like, times, because you have to do... I don't even know if there's any sequence breaking that you can do in this one to, like, clip through the ground or something to get down into Area 0 faster. I don't know. Because it's actually spring for a little while longer. You know, and that's as fair of a reason as any to wear spring clothes. So. Lucky, you only need reading glasses. Instant 10 out of 10 improvement. Agreed, it looks better. And I think it'll look a little bit better... a little bit later as well once we get our hands on some better clothes too. I'm going to get some different glasses, we're going to get some actual gloves, better shoes, better backpack, a phone case that matches my shoes, because I'm petty like that. If you press the B button, you can actually slide, which allows you to slide into tall grass and creep up on Pokemon like a stalker, which is, I guess, not cool, but it lets you slide like this, and that just reminds me of, like, Legend of Zelda stuff where you're just rolling everywhere, so I'll probably be doing that when I have to go through bushes and stuff. I don't have any particular reason for doing that, but I'm just going to do it anyway, because why the heck not, right? It's just silly, and I'll take it. Oh good, the Power of Science guy. They had to leave him in. It's like a series tradition at this point. Alright, let's see what my friends are up to. Fuecoco, where are you? Fuecoco, come back! You have to go this way, buddy. Look at me, look at me. We gotta go this way. The house is over here. I told you he was no thoughts head empty. He's trying his hardest, but I don't know if trying his hardest is enough. Okay, grab this. Anyway, we don't have to wait up for them. They'll make it here once we walk up the hill and go into the cutscene, so. Many speedrunners quit. This game is very anti-speedrun. Uh-oh. Anti-speedrun, but my Pokemon have already run off! Disobey %. I guess they're not mine, so I guess that's why they would. I've already lost my small child and it's been 2 minutes. I don't know if I'll be a very responsible Pokemon trainer. He's perfect! How do I keep this one? Look at this baby! I think I've just given it away. Oh, he's just the perfect specimen. Look at him. Oh my god. Like, out of the three, okay, Quaxley I probably like the least. Rigatito was fine until this cutscene, and then this happened, and I was just like, nope, there's no choice in the matter anymore. I have no choice. I know who I have to pick. There is only one starter in this game, and he's standing on the right side. Oh. So I know you wanted me to pick the Weed Cat. I apologize. For what it's worth, though, I'm not planning on keeping the starter throughout the game. I am planning... Because I'm not planning on evolving Fuecoco, because evolving this perfect specimen would be a crime against humanity. So I'm not planning on keeping them through the whole playthrough. We're going to box them eventually and get something else as our... Well, not really a starter, but, you know. So. Charbroiled orange, dang. This game is very anti-speedrun, too much of a pain, I can imagine. The legend. The ultimate life form. Buenos, well actually it's Buenos Noches over here, but you know, Buenos Noches. But, well, they wanted to run over here and I was able to jog, so. Yeah, you know, I guess I didn't come down the way to introduce myself yet. Your mansion is a little imposing. That's me. Oh, really? Home is here in this mansion. I'm surprised. I would figure you'd want to live here rather than in the school dorms. This is probably much nicer than most dorms. Sure, why not? I'm sure we will. Oh god, she's got a tooth gap. Oh, I don't know how long I can look at that. There's nothing wrong with having a tooth gap in real life. It just bothers me in a video game because it's like, you guys can see the seams. It's literally right there. That's going to be a bit of a problem, because I don't currently have a Pokemon. Anybody else catch that? Okay, I understand. I'm probably going to have to rail this game a whole bunch in terms of, like, the things that it does wrong. But that they just did there with her saying, we're going to be neighbors and classmates? Nice, we'll be able to battle all we want. And Director Clavel just looking at the ground being like, there is literally no winning with this girl. Just whoever put that in the game, whichever developer decided that was a good idea, mwah, chef's kiss. I salute you. You need a promotion. Forgot she has a mansion. Yeah, but commuting to school, yeah, I mean, I guess, especially since it's uphill from here. I don't mind the walking around, but I don't know how Nimona feels about that. So. I mean, I feel like she'd probably be pretty good at, well, maybe not track necessarily, but she's pretty tall for our age. So I think she'd be pretty good at it. Of course, that's not always true of everybody who's tall or shorter. I'm going to zoom this in like this. I'll bring it out to the far camera when we get out of here. So anyway, you already know who my choice is. What the hell just happened to the lighting? It's no thoughts, head empty. Matter of fact, he's probably so empty of thoughts in his head that he probably thinks the saying is no empty, head thoughts. Fuecoco. Look at this boy. Yes, there is no choice in the matter. I have to take him. I must. I must protect this small child. And since I gave nicknames in some of the other games, we didn't give nicknames in Coliseum and XD, so let's get back to the nickname stuff. And I said what I just said about, well, he probably thinks that the phrase is no empty head thoughts, because it actually makes for, well, maybe not a great name, but no empty head thoughts. Nate. So his name is Nate. He is my small child, and I will protect him with my life. How the heck am I holding him up with my arms? Isn't he like 50 pounds? Good lord, man. I'm jacked in this one. It's obvious he has a mansion. He's the actually, this isn't the principal's mansion. This is Nemona's mansion. I should mention that part because I don't know if that's clear. This is, well, it's Nemona's parents' mansion, I should say. So there you go. Probably wouldn't be that bad. Yeah, no, I don't think it would, but it depends on how they feel about commuting uphill. So, hey, Shroomraver, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, serendipitous indeed. What's up? Not much. How's it going? We just got started, customized our character, put on some drip, and then now we have a small child that I need to protect. I don't actually know. The naming screen might have said that female, yes, gal. I'm not sure. Actually, I wasn't paying attention. If it is, then we can just say Nate is short for Natalie. That's fine. But it could be that. I'm not sure. We'll see. Silly Cooper, the boy. Wait, you said you won't evolve it. You do what you do then, which is where it's more fun to catch 6 Pokemon and using your starter as the team mascot. How's your twig arm holding up? Sore. I am sore. I just started. I'm already sore. Just looking at that. Well, you heard the guy. Yes, we shall protect the small one. There is no choice. I mean, I guess. I was going to say, how were you going to get into a Pokemon battle with me if you didn't have your own? But I guess she didn't have her own, so... Or at least not one of these. Because she was raising something else. She must have gotten started on her Pokemon training, like, before she went to the academy. I get the impression that a lot of students, at least with the way that they have the principal coming to your house and giving you a starter here, many students don't start using Pokemon or, you know, running around and doing adventures with Pokemon before they go to the academy, but I suppose that's not true of everybody, right? I also get the impression that Nemona's like 14 compared to our 10, just judging probably by the difference in height, but, you know, could be wrong about that. Anyway, she picks out Sprigatito, and that leaves just Quaxley for the director. She'll always pick the one that your starter has a type advantage against. Which is a weird trend that I'm not sure why they started doing with rivals, but, I mean, I guess. I mean, I always thought that was a good thing, because then it was like you couldn't just rely on your starter. You had to raise others in order to be better than your rival. I always thought that was it was a good way to, like, not really tell the player to make a balanced team, but just kind of nudge them in that direction, you know, to raise something other than just your starter. But now that they have, you know, the rivals taking the type disadvantage Pokemon, it just sort of feels like you can steamroll with your starter through most of the game. So... You saw female on it? Alright, well, let's take a look. Yes, we did, in fact, get the rare 12.5% female starter. So Nate is short for Natalie. There we go. Auto heal? I don't need auto heal. I didn't expect to get a female starter, but there we go. That works. Let's see what she's got going on. Special attack down! Oh, impish. Okay. Well, I guess I'll work with it. Anyway, it's fine. One other reason to box her. Sorry, Natalie. Doing good. Just got done finishing up your GFX. Oh, nice. Nice. So hopefully everything's going good there for you. I saw the draft analysis video. That looked pretty good. Like I said, the team looks strong. Hope everything's going well with that. Hope everything goes well in the season. So good luck. Shroom is in a draft league season currently. His content, shameless plug. His content is very good because it's like a combination of a draft league for Pokemon with a crime drama. So if you're into one or both of those things, shameless plug recommendation from me, go watch Dave's stuff. It's pretty good. I can't go this way. Just walk right through this bush instead. I can go this way. I just had to go the correct way. Let's slide on through. Another thing you can do with the slide, actually, is coming up here in a second. If you go over towards a slope, sometimes you won't fall off the slope because the game will think, oh, well, I should probably push you backwards so you don't fall off of this cliff. But if you slide into the slope, you'll fall off the slope at a faster speed than you would otherwise. If you're at a point where you want to fall off of a slope and you're at like a pretty high angle, it lets you slide off the slope without the game just catching you and forcing you to not. So, before we go see Nimona, yeah, I'll be there in a second. I have to watch the... Did anybody else see that with the sand? Is that just me? No, that wasn't just me. Look at so the rocks are there, right? Watch the sand that's right below the rocks. See how it warps? Oh, God. What have I gotten myself into? It's Gothic 3 all over again. Oh, man. What are you doing up there? Did you find a coin? Good, keep it, because somebody might be liable to take it from you. We're going to give you a Pokemon for entering our academy. Already has a full team because you traded in 6 eggs and hatched them all. Misbreeding like a mad woman in Gen 6. Think you put over 3,000 eggs back in the 3DS days. That's a ton of eggs. Holy crap. Blue and Silver and Shambles. Rivals these days are picking disadvantage types. Weak. Protect the princess at all costs. Yeah, we're not slaying the princess in this one. It's weird. Wonder when they started doing weak instead of strong rivals. I feel like it was Gen 7. Didn't How take the type disadvantage starter? Because then the professor could have the type advantage starter, I think. So, levels of detail. Always fun to see. This sand is sanding of its own volition. It has free will. Must be a sandy ghast. Oh, boy. Anyway. Hi, Nimona. You got a whole battle court on the beach. Are you sure you don't want to be here? Because I feel like you'd fit right in over here. You don't have a battle court to yourself at the academy. Then again, maybe she doesn't like having a battle court to herself because then nobody comes out to fight her. So, sure, I'm ready to fight, I guess. I will give it a shot. Please don't destroy me. I have a level 5 Fuecoco. Master Nimona, please don't destroy our new student. He needs a level of confidence coming into the game. He's not even at the academy yet. Your usual partner? Well, what level are those? Were you going to send out a level 60-something Pokemon against me, Nimona? What kind of an impression? Like, this is why people don't like you at the academy. If you just do that to people, it's not a wonder they're not going to want to fight you. I guess that's spoilers for a couple of hours from now, but she doesn't have the best reputation at the academy. She's a nice enough person, I think. It's really hard to tell with her because she's really not a person. She's literally one character trait just stretched across a 40-hour game. But, you know. Again, I'm getting ahead of myself here, but that's fine. Natalie, just cook them, please. Was her Sprigatito female as well? Did we get 2 female starters? I didn't see. Hang on. Maybe it'll show here. Or did I just imagine that there? See, tooth gap. No, her Sprigatito's male. Okay, that's fine. It would have been cool if we got 2 female starters because that almost never happens. Like, it's a 1 in 8 chance for each one, so it would have been a 1 in 16 chance. Which I guess isn't that bad considering shiny odds are way lower than that, but, you know. Gen 6 braiding. When you spent weeks building up a dumb rain team and braiding a hydration HP water Axelgor. Oh my god. Now that's a Pokemon. Whoa! Okay, camera's already freaking out and it's been 20 minutes. That's just great. Yeah, that's a... Hidden Power was such a meme, man. She has a level 5 Weed Cat. Yes, she does. Put out so many eggs just because breeding was nice and chill. Literally bred things nobody cared about. Oh yeah, you were right. Put out a bunch of Stantler. Really wish people liked Stantler. How would you tell? Yeah, so only when you are selecting your move, you can tell if they're male or female in this case. So, yes, it's smelling funny. The Weed Cat smells a little funky. Probably people's impression of Stantler improved after Legends Arceus gave it an evolution, but I don't know. I mean, I've never played Legends, so I couldn't tell you. Well, it doesn't really take a rocket scientist to know burn down the foliage, so... I don't know about you, but my Pokemon got a little hurt that time. Yours fainted. Do you have a revive? Yeah, give me a break here. Like, let me at least potion up Natalie first. It's all good. Just gonna skip before I have to look at the tooth gap again. I'm sorry, I know. I'm probably making that sound awful, but like, her tooth gap just bothers me, okay? And it's not even like a tooth gap like a normal tooth gap, which is vertical between the two incisors. Incisors, yeah, those are these ones. Canines are these ones. I'm feeling my own teeth as I say this. Like, normally there's a gap between the two incisors on the left and right, and that's the tooth gap people are talking about. Her tooth gap is like, she has lockjaw. She can't close her mouth all the way. That's the tooth gap I'm talking about. And it just, I don't know how to feel about it. Well, I guess she's going to be my mentor. That's cool. Oh, okay. I do. Rotom? Did she just get in without knowing my lock screen combination? Sorry. Ooh, gonna need more water by the end of this. Ugh. For those of you that came in a little bit later, I'm still fighting off a cold that I literally only started feeling right after Slay the Princess was over. Hey, JJ Futcher, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Stantler deserves more love. Dearling, Stantler, Lilliput, man, why do you fall in love with all the Pokemon people don't care about? Crazy, you never notice. Maybe it only shows up when she's talking. Yeah, and I think it really mainly shows up in the battle screens, honestly. Like, I feel like it's not as much of a thing that you see here, but, like, in the battle, you'll see it in the battles. Like, when they do cut-ins in the battles, you can very clearly see the tooth gap, so. She got him without interacting with your screen at all. She really did. She just kind of waved her hands behind it, and Rotom was like, I know exactly what you're talking about. Oh, okay. So our homeroom teacher made the Pokedex. So, when did they... So that means Professor Oak was definitely, like, the first one to make it an electronic encyclopedia then, right? Because in Legends, they also used handwritten notes for the Pokedex, which... means that if Director Clavel is like, let's say he's 60, right? So that means when he was a Pokemon trainer, that's 50 years ago. 50 years ago in the Pokemon universe at this point. Still using handwritten notes. So probably Red and Blue took place sometime that was less than 50 years ago in universe. I mean, I'm trying to make a timeline out of something that I don't think there is a timeline, but you know. Yeah, well, I suppose that's true, but there's only so far that the nostalgia can carry me, and I'm lucky that I'm going to get carried all the way through this game, honestly. I have enough things to say about it to where I will be able to carry myself through it, but... Oh, okay. Fair enough. I think if you go into her house, even if you try to look for her parents, I don't think her parents are around. Although, I don't think you can get into her house before this point, so... They're probably just in a different room with the director, who takes Quaxley with him. That's fine. I almost feel like Quaxley suits him. What do you mean? Are you one of those players that only catches the Pokemon you're going to use in battles? Because I'm definitely that person in pretty much every Pokemon game, actually. I've only given a different impression in the past 3 playthroughs because Let's Go had a very unique capture system that I still think was better than what they did after it. And Coliseum and XD required capturing everything for 100% completion, so... no, I've definitely never caught a wild Pokemon. Only other trainers' Pokemon, with a snag machine. Yeah, I think it does show up better with a higher resolution as well. So, like, if you're playing in handheld mode, you probably don't see it quite as much. Pokedex by hand, is this Legends Arceus? Something like that. You're not secretly sponsored by Big Orthodontics, and that's why you're hating on the tooth caps, right? No, there was this one girl that I was going to date at one point who was in orthopedics, or not orthopedics, orthodontics. Orthopedics is the other thing. That's bone health. Didn't end up working out, but... That's probably the only interaction I've ever had with orthodontists in any way other than my, you know, what is it, twice a year you go to the dentist? Something like that. So. Rich and poor people problems. Families never close. Damn girl, she's fast. She can really hoof it when she wants to, but as we'll see later, she runs out of energy quickly. You miss Ore. Ore was such a cool region. It's so different from a lot of the other regions that Pokemon ends up being, where there's a lot of like similar landmarks in other Pokemon regions that just are sort of staples that they put in because of course they do. They want to kind of hit all of the potential because there's various types, and so of course they'd want to have various biomes for the Pokemon to live in. But Ore was just such a... Is there sand on the... It's making the sand... this is probably just me being petty. It's making the sand come off of my shoes even though the battle court has no sand on it. Which either means that there is sand and I'm just kicking up all of it with my shoes, or they didn't program the court to have court sounds. Which, okay, fair enough. I guess. Anyway. Yeah, Ore was such an interesting region because it was just, like, there really weren't a ton of biomes, and they only added the biomes in later as they went. Like, Pokemon XD was the first time we saw lava in there, if I remember correctly. No, you could see it in Mount Battle, never mind. But there were no Pokemon to catch in the lava area. It was just Mount Battle, you know? They didn't have... like, most of it was desert, so you would think there'd be a lot of ground and rock types, but Ore had a pretty diverse amount because you'd catch the Pokemon from the trainers rather than from the biomes until XD. Then you could catch them from the biomes. So, and then that was funny thing is they took it away, right? They took away your ability, to catch from the biomes, and then they put it back in XD, and it felt so fresh because it was like, wow, you couldn't catch anything here in the previous game, and it gave you that noticeable improvement of the region over time. Things were getting better. I can't say enough good things. Unlike this game. Anyway. Wouldn't surprise me if there is sand on there. Yeah, probably, honestly. Hey, Cosmic Golurk, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. We just got done with the first rival battle. I'm taking my time today. That's okay. And we will start moving our way up to school. Probably the goal today is just to get done with the first cutscenes at school. I don't even know if we'll get that far. We'll see. I'm not really trying to rush, honestly, so... I will attempt to. It depends on what they have in the cafeteria. I was a picky kid, honestly. I didn't eat hardly anything in terms of trying different things. I've started trying a lot more new things as an adult than I used to as a kid. But we get a sandwich to eat while we're hiking up the hill, so that's cool. And also some potions, so that our Pokemon don't fall over. Now, that being said, if you need to heal and you don't want to use a potion, you could always just go back home and Mom will heal you for free, just like usual, but it's a bit of a walk this time. I guess it was always a bit of a walk, wasn't it? But not quite as much as this time. I'll always have the bed all ready for you. Fair enough. Thanks, Mom. I'll talk to you never, because the Rotom phone, despite being a phone, does not have phone functionality on it. It's something I miss that they took away from Pokemon games, is being able to call NPCs. They really should bring that back. I think it was a good system. I don't think we've had it since Black and White 2, though, right? Like, they didn't have it in Gen 6. Oh, well. Nothing I can do about that now. Might as well just keep going on the not really cobblestone path. Where are we headed? Oh. This sign doesn't say where we're headed. It just has Pokemon Speak on it. I did, by the way, find the font for this. If you'll notice, the thumbnail of the stream actually has font that looks a little funky. It's not quite like any font that exists in real life. That's because the font for this game actually exists, and someone posted it to allow you to download it. So I used it to type out the word live in the thumbnail, and yeah, so that's what that says, in case you were wondering. I was going to use it for more letters and words, and then I was like, nah, if I put too much in the thumbnail, people are going to look at it and be like, I don't know what the heck that is. It might be in a different language that I don't understand, and then they wouldn't click, you know? So... Keep weeding from me. Oh, okay. Didn't see. You can't say. You said you couldn't stay. All right, Pad. Take it easy. We'll see you. And Marie as well. We'll see you as well. Hope everybody has a good day, night, whatever it ends up being. And hopefully work in the morning for you, Marie, isn't so bad. Okay. Some Pokemon in the overworld. That is a good change. I do like that, because finding Pokemon in wild grass, like wild Pokemon in tall grass, it's tough, because then you can't see them in the overworld, so you don't know if they're what you want. And you just have to keep kind of running back and forth to get the one that you want. Here you can just see them out in the world, which makes catching the ones you want a lot easier, and just catching in general a lot easier, because if you just already have it, you don't have to get into the battle, run away, get into the battle, run away. Oh, this is the one I want. Try to catch it. Run out of Pokeballs, have to go back to the Pokemon Center, that sort of stuff. It also helps that they kind of hand you a million Pokeballs at the beginning of the game, so. Anyway, Chonker. Let's hop into action. Okay. They say that, but I'm pretty sure most captures are guaranteed in this one. I should mention this, by the way, as well. So the camera is freeform in this one. You can move it around in whatever direction you like, just like in Legends. Nemono's over there giving us a cheer. But you can also swap to the dynamic camera by pressing in the right stick. That'll bring the camera behind your Pokemon, and then any attacks will be followed by the camera in a cinematic way. As an example, here you go. Okay, never mind. Ember doesn't have a cinematic thing going on there. But, yeah, any attacks will be followed by the camera in a cinematic way with the dynamic camera if you press it in like that. So, I think that's enough. Let's throw a Pokeball. Get him to about 50%, just like in Coliseum and XD, and that's when we'll start throwing Pokeballs. We can go a little lower than that, but, you know. And that's that. We don't really need to catch Lechonk. I don't think there's any particular use case for it, at least not in my case. Like, I don't see myself ever using Lechonk in battle, but I guess since it's the first battle and it's supposed to be the capturing tutorial, we might as well. I don't think I'm going to nickname the ones that are I just catch randomly, you know. I'll nickname the ones that are important, not the ones that I'm just catching. I think that's a little bit... It's too many names for me to try to figure out. The stream's already going to be long enough with me going this slow, so... Yes, use the classic camera, exactly. Really? I would figure... Well, maybe not. If you're more into battling, you'd be, I guess, not as good at catching, but I would think you'd have to be pretty good at catching to get good at battling. It's not really that different. I don't know. Anyway, here's 10 more Pokeballs for you. And they're all over the place because there's just items littered all around the path, so there's probably going to be plenty of Pokeballs if you want to catch whatever Pokemon you want to catch. Now, she tells you, head forward towards the lighthouse and we'll meet up over there. But, if I remember correctly, let's see if this works. You can actually go backwards to your house at this point. And I'm actually going to throw Lechonk into the PC. So let me do that real quick. So I'm not going to use the Chonker. If you want to see the Chonker being used in battle, just to talk about Frank's playthrough again, Frank uses Lechonk in its evolution in his playthrough as a staple team member. So there you go. I mean, I guess you could catch this Tarantula here in Cabo Poco because it's in the tree here in Cabo Poco. But I'm looking for something else. There's something else you can sometimes see if you go back to your house. Let me see if they show up. The draw distance is pretty low, so I don't know if they'll show up or not. There they are. So, the Squawkabilly that you saw in the intro cutscene, you can actually throw a Pokeball at them and try to catch them. By throwing your Pokemon onto the roof of your house. Alright, I don't think this is a good angle there, Natalie, but I guess we'll make it work. Let's see if we can catch this Squawkabilly. I don't think this is a good one, though, because I didn't see Intimidate proc. Squawkabilly actually has the Intimidate ability, or can have the Intimidate ability. And that's pretty good for the first, like, one of the first Pokemon you can catch in the game, so... Intimidate goes a long way towards, you know, making things a little bit easier in the early game, but... If it doesn't have it, that's fine. It's not like it's going to be to the point where I can't do it just because I don't have an Intimidate Squawkabilly, you know. But I figured I'd back up and catch it just because this is the earliest point you can get it. I don't really like raising Squawkabilly now, though, because if I remember right, it has a really slow, like, experience curve. I think it's erratic, if I remember correctly, which is, like, one of the slowest experience curves in the game, if not the slowest, at least at early levels. I think later it picks up, but before that, not so much. So... Anyway, there's another Pokemon for our decks. There are different colors of Squawkabilly as well, so... And also, if you look at the roof of the house, there is an item up there. Those glowing yellow items and Pokeballs are TMs, but we can't get that right now. Even if we throw our Pokemon on the roof, they can't just walk up and grab it for us, unfortunately. So you didn't have Intimidate, right? Yeah, Hustle. I mean, Impish isn't a bad nature for you, but Hustle's a bad ability. I guess Aerial Ace, you'd be fine with Aerial Ace, but until we get Aerial Ace, you'll be missing your moves 1 out of every 5 times, so... Do you automatically share XP with all the Pokemon in your party, or only ones who are in battle? So in this game, you share it with all Pokemon in your party. The EXP share is on at all times, and I don't think you can turn it off in this one. So, or at least if you can, I don't know how. So, yeah, it's shared with all members of your party. Which, I mean, it's fine. It makes it a little easier to raise Pokemon. And since most Pokemon that you find out in the wild now aren't quite as... Like, the thing that they did in old games to make it a little easier to raise Pokemon is they actually gave you the ability to fight some wild Pokemon that were either... They didn't evolve, or they were just a little bit stronger than some of the other wild Pokemon, and that lets you get experience a little bit faster, but... in this game, that's not usually the case. So, is that Hoppip still down here? Yep. I don't know if I can sneak up on you, so I don't think I'm going to. There is a sneaking mechanic in this game, but we'll get there. Hi there. You want to come with me? Oh, maybe you just wanted to walk over. Well, either way, you're going to come with me now. You'll never hear anyone say this ever again. I actually like having Hoppip in my party for the early game, so we'll see if we can catch one. Okay, probably you can take one more. I might tackle instead, because that might do a little more damage. Need to come back here with the double jump, yeah, really. So we can walk around a little bit easier. Okay, that's about right. But yeah, I actually like having Hoppip in my party early on, because if I had picked Sprigatito, you wouldn't need it, but if you pick anything else, Hoppip is a pretty good grass type to have, at least until you get to the academy. Learn some pretty good moves pretty early on, including Sleep Powder, I think, by level 12, which is pretty nice for catching Pokemon. So, we'll hold on to her for a little while. I don't have a nickname for her, but we'll hold on to her for a little while. I do have nicknames for all the ones I'm actually going to use in the playthrough, though, not to worry. I think it's better to go back home now. But yeah, see how I slid down the thing like that? And it just let me fall off the cliff without pushing me back. Normally, if you try to jump off a cliff like that, it'll, like, have your character push himself backwards so that he wouldn't fall off the cliff, and then you would have to walk off after that. But if you just slide into the cliff, it lets you fall off without having to see all that. You can just skip that animation. So that's kind of nice. Alright, let's go chat with Mom, fully restore our Pokemon since we were so close. Might as well. And then we'll pull Hoppip out and let Hoppip do some cool stuff. Why not? We didn't use Skiploom or Jumpluff in the Coliseum playthrough, I don't think. If we did, I don't remember it. So we might as well do a little bit of something. Alright, so... You can actually just put whatever Pokemon you have highlighted into the lead position just by pressing the Y button, but I don't always do that because sometimes it messes around with some things, so... Excuse me. And you have a... what is that, a lonely nature? Or is that a naughty nature? Lonely, okay. Yeah, these natures have been a little bit so far. Thankfully, this is probably one of the only Pokemon games where natures literally don't matter because you can actually fix them later on in the game, so... There are a lot of... I will say, this is a good thing I will say about the game. There are a lot of quality of life features that they have in this one that lets you kind of fix some things that aren't necessarily as good as you might want them to be, so... Okay, I said I'd mention the sneaking mechanic. So right now we're hidden. You can see it by the darkening on the corners of the screen. If you sneak up behind a Pokemon, which for Tarantula this might be behind, not sure, and you throw a Pokeball at them. Okay, that was the front of them. If you sneak up behind them and you throw a Pokeball while sneaking, you can actually surprise them, which will make a larger explosion when the Pokeball hits them. Like it'll make a different sound effect. It'll make a larger explosion, and it will actually double the catch rate afterwards. So it's actually kind of nice. It makes it a little easier to catch stuff. It's another reason why I actually like catching stuff in this one. I don't like the change from Let's Go, where they swapped it over from the good catching mechanics in that one to the whatever this is supposed to be. But at the very least, catching Pokemon in this one isn't so... It's a little more obnoxious in other games because you can't see the Pokemon in the overworld, and capturing is just a little bit slower because you can't see them in the overworld. So now we got a Tarantula as well. I don't know, I really don't need to catch any of this stuff, but I kind of, usually when I go through this, at least I did this when I did the full playthrough as well, I pretty much just caught, like, whatever I came across on this path. Another nice thing about capturing, though, I should say this, is that the higher the number of Pokemon... Hi, Lechonk. The higher the number of Pokemon that you have registered in your Pokedex, the better your catch rates are. So, capturing things early on when there's a very wide variety of Pokemon you can get your hands on between now and when you get to the Academy. So, catching a whole bunch of stuff early on is actually advantageous. It makes it a little easier for you to catch other stuff later on. Especially if you want to catch something that's like a not fully evolved Pokemon, or not a not fully evolved, a Pokemon that doesn't evolve. Because there's several of those that you can catch shortly, and well, shortly after you get out of the Academy, and their catch rates are not great. So catching as many as you can early on is actually helpful. It makes it a little easier to catch them. And so, in a way, capturing kind of feeds into itself like that. The more you capture, the easier it is to capture, so you can kind of just keep going. So that's kind of nice. Again, I won't say that this game has very many good points to it, but that is a good point to it. I think that's a good system, the way that they've got that. Is that another Lechonk? Yeah, it is another Lechonk, okay. Now you'll notice as well that most of the Pokemon we've met so far... Fletchling, are you okay? Are you stuck in there, poor guy? Hang on, if I can lock onto you, I might be able to fix that. This waist-high wall is simultaneously blocking him from moving, them from moving, and blocking me from capturing them. So, I don't think I can do it from here, right? I'd have to, like, do this. No, that's the chunk. Can I just run into you? Yes, I can. Okay. I was going to say, I don't know if I can help you out of there, poor baby, but yes, I can, so it's fine. I really like Fletchling, by the way. The Fletchling line leading up through Fletchinder and Talonflame is awesome. One of the best Pokemon they introduced in Gen 6, for sure. So, assume throwing a Pokeball to initiate battle doesn't actually use up a ball. No, it does not. You're basically, when you throw the ball at the Pokemon, you're throwing out your starter Pokemon, whichever one is first in the slot, so rather than actually using the ball to try to initiate battle. So I would say I would definitely be using Talonflame on a playthrough, but I actually used Talonflame on my first playthrough of the game, so for a little while. So I already have an impression with it. I would say if we ever play Gen 6, I'd definitely use Talonflame, but I don't think we'll ever be playing Gen 6, so... I'm only really planning on playing the 2D games beyond this one, so... This will just be a capture that goes in my PC. Not going to ignore the ones that we throw in the PC, though, because eventually they will, we can evolve them, and evolving them will mean we'll have more Pokemon registered in our Pokedex, and again, that'll give us easier catch rates, so... I say that like I'm going to need them or something. I don't even remember if I'm going to be catching any legendaries, so... Oh, you know, that reminds me, I'm pretty sure now, even before we go down to, or rather up to the lighthouse any further... Well, you know what, let's explore the rest of the Pokemon that we can catch here, because there's 2 more that we can catch here, if I remember correctly, that I haven't seen yet. Now, did you notice that? Did you see how, because this Lechonk is following me because it had a question mark over its head? So question mark Pokemon will follow you around. That Scatterbug that we just saw there, it actually had an exclamation point over its head when it saw us. When a Pokemon has an exclamation point over its head, it's aggressive, so it will actually physically try to run into you in order to initiate a battle. I don't know why Scatterbug, of all things, is oh, there we go. I was like, what happened to my camera? Yeah, I don't know why Scatterbug, of all things, is the aggressive Pokemon on this route, but there it is. So. And Scatterbug is another good one to grab early because it's your generic bug type early in the game that you can evolve very quickly. So it evolves all the way to its full form by level 12, and it can have the Compound Eyes ability, which combined with Sleep Powder means you have a 91% chance of putting whatever is in front of you to sleep, which is a very nice thing. Is it 91% or is it 97%? I forget if Sleep Powder has 70% accuracy or 75%. It might have 75%, which would mean you'd get... Compound Eyes, I think, increases it by like 30%, which is not quite 25 extra percent. It's like close to it, but not quite. So, plus this one's at level 4, so it actually will level up a little slower, but it's already at a level that's close enough to where I feel comfortable just keeping it in the team, even if I'm not going to, you know, actually use it. All right, Natalie, that's good enough. Let's toss out Pokeball and see. Also, Pokemon that follow you around that have question marks over their heads when they first see you, generally speaking, they don't... Well, some of them don't like combat. Some of them are okay with combat and will actually encourage you while they watch the battle from like around you when the battles happen. Because battles don't happen on a specific screen in this game, unlike in previous Pokemon games where it transitions to a battle screen when you run into them. In this game, it happens in the open world. So Pokemon that were following you around can actually watch the battle unfold and react to it. Usually their reactions are limited to not liking it, like these Lechonk, who had those little teardrops coming out when they saw the battle going on. Or they encourage you, which is a nice little detail. I will say that for sure. So, I'm not going to use Scatterbug. It's pretty much just going to be the Hoppip and Fuecoco show for a little bit, so... I'll just leave Scatterbug at middle of the road HP and it'll be fine. Ah, so there's also sparkles that you can pick up on the ground here. Usually these are like berries or something, so... Yeah, there you go, like I said, Chesto Berry. So yeah, usually when you pick those up, they're going to be not like actual items, but they can be. They don't have to be, but they can be. Okay, so yeah, see how the screen is darker there? I'm going to try to get a... surprise capture here. Let me see. Or a surprise, like, get the initiative. It's almost like a preemptive strike in other RPGs, basically. Just gotta wait for this little guy to turn, or little thing, I guess, to turn their back. Let me sneak away a little bit so they don't, like, run into me. That's kind of close enough to... turning your back. There we go. Nope. Never mind. Broke eye contact by... Alright, come back. Broke line of sight. Clever girl. Yeah, I'm just going to try to demonstrate it if it turns its back here again. Let's see. I'm trying not to move too much because I'll move out of the grass and then it'll immediately see me. I'm out of the grass right now. There we go. Lechonk saw me. Okay, now. Yeah, did you see the difference there? The explosion was bigger, it had a different animation, and it says you caught the wild Pokemon off guard. So basically, if you see those three things happen in a row, what you've basically done is gotten a preemptive strike on whatever Pokemon that you're trying to capture, and that increases your capture rate. If I remember correctly, it doubles it, but I'm not 100% sure about that. So you don't really need to get them. Oh yeah, and they don't move for the first turn either, so that's another advantage you can use. I don't think you really need the extra capture rate on Poco Path, because most of the Pokemon here are like very easy to catch, but you know. It's not an awful idea to get into the habit of doing it, because you'll just catch things easier if you do it this way. So. Okay. I think we've got everything on Poco Path now, and Hoppip is already level 6, and has learned a same type attack bonus move, Absorb. Nice. So now Hoppip can use its usually stronger, although with its attack up nature, it's probably got fine enough attack. But it can get same type attack bonus now, which it couldn't get before, so that's nice. And we can toss Palmy into the PC as well, because I'm not going to use it. Like I said, I'm just kind of going to leave Scatterbug in there for now, just because it can kind of absorb a little extra experience and evolve. Tarantula that we caught also evolves fairly early, but the problem with Tarantula is it has the same experience bracket as Squawkabilly. I think they're both in the erratic bracket, if I remember right. So, because it has such a weird experience bracket, getting it to evolve is actually very, very slow, and I'm not going to take the time. We'll do it later when we can get experience in a much faster manner, so without having to worry about it. So yeah, we've caught everything, as far as I'm aware, that you can catch on PokéPath for right now, including Fletchling, and there's a big group of them right there. So we could just go straight up the hill to the lighthouse, but there's one more thing I want to go do before we go to the lighthouse. We actually want to go back. I probably could have done this while I was going to get Squawkabilly earlier, but I didn't think about it until like a minute ago, or, well, actually it's closer to 5 minutes ago, honestly. But let's go do it. Nemona's probably wondering what the heck I'm doing wandering all over the place like this, but, you know, it's fine. And I'll go rest as well, just because the Pokemon that we can run into in the place that I'm about to go are a little... they can be... Well, they can be up to level 15, I think, if I remember correctly. Maybe even a little higher than that. And I don't think we'll run into anything at that level, because I just won't fight them, but... Hey, you know, never hurts to be a little prepared. Take a rest, give my throat a rest by taking a drink. There we go. Okay, back out to more adventure. Alright, so, last thing that we can do before we go to the lighthouse, and by the way, this is by no means a 100% playthrough. There is no way I'm doing that, but I might as well show all these things off, because I feel like a lot of the videos on YouTube of this are a lot of people's like first time playing the game, so they don't do like this isn't, I wouldn't consider this an expert walkthrough of the game by any stretch of the imagination, but you don't really get to see people doing a lot of this stuff, so I figure, you know, might as well just show it off, because it is something that you can do. And there is a reason why I want to do it. So if you come back down to the beach after fighting Nemona and after going to PokéPath, once you get the capture tutorial, if you go down to the water, well, we can see them out there for right now, the bunch of Magikarp that are out there, but if you go down to the water, Pokemon will begin spawning out on the water here, and you can actually capture them from here, even though, you know, they're pretty far away, including this one, which is actually the only one I was looking for, and it spawned almost immediately. Good. Aerocuda. I can't really do a good camera angle on this, but Aerocuda is such a goober of a Pokemon. It's so silly looking, but we'll talk about it in just a second. Hoppip, suck out his soul for a second so that I can get him down on HP a little bit. And the nice thing about Aerocuda, well, first of all, it has the same type of, not a same type, a super effective move against grass types, which is good because it's a water type. It's also got a priority move in Aqua Jet almost immediately. But this one is level 4, which is a much lower level than most of the things you can catch here, and actually usable with our current team as a result of being level 4. So, get in my Pokeball, please. I also really like Aerocuda and its evolutions. It's one of my favorites added in Gen 8, so I'll take it. The rest of these we can capture further along the path, but this one I wanted to get in my team early because then I can have a Grass, Fire, Water core right away before we really even get started here. So wouldn't really be able to do that otherwise, because the closest you could have to that is having a Fletchling, which is a flying type and that will eventually evolve into a fire type. But yeah, it's just such a goober. Look at its face. So silly. Another No Thoughts Head Empty Pokemon to add to my collection of No Thoughts Head Empty Pokemon. Hi, Buizel. Oh, Jesus. Level 12? Yeah, no, we can't do anything about that. Maybe I can catch this Magikarp or this Wingull. No, 13. Nope, See what I mean, though, about their levels being really high? If you want to catch a Pokemon out here, Aerocuda, there's usually... That Aerocuda we actually got there was lucky, because usually you can't just catch one right off the bat that's at the level that you want. But Like, as you can see with the Wingull and the Magikarp just there, they're higher than anything that we have currently. But we'll be able to catch those further down the path, so I'm not really too worried about it. Instead of going back home, I'm just going to heal you, actually, with a potion. And then we'll go from there. And I think if I remember correctly, you don't get a heal after the next story event either. So I think I'll also heal... I'm just getting rid of all those red dots so that they're not new anymore. I think I'll also heal Hoppip, because we don't have to fight anything else on our way up the path, so let's just go. Yes, that is the face right there. That is exactly the Arrokuda face right there. And you know, the nicest part about it is that it doesn't even really lose that face when it evolves and turns into a guided missile. Quite literally, it has like 100 and... What's its base attack? God, I don't even remember. Excuse me. It is literally a Pokemon made for attack and speed, and that's it. Like, Barrascuda is just one of those Pokemon. It's just like, well, I'm a glass cannon, but I'm going to hit like a guided missile. So... Anyway, off we go up the path. Also, worth keeping in mind the fact that when we fought Pokemon up the path here, we actually got battle music. Why is that worth keeping in mind? Because, no, it's not going to let me go up here, is it? I thought I was clever and I got up here beforehand, but I guess we'll go there in a minute instead. The further up you go in the path, the more you'll never hear that battle music again. Oh, we're going to do this again? I thought we got rid of this after the past few games. Stomach growling, or no? Definitely not. Yeah, materials for crafting TMs. Oh god, we didn't even get into that yet. We'll talk about that in a second. You want to find the thing that made the strong Pokemon that made that cry? I mean, I don't know if I'm in good shape for that, Nimona. I don't exactly have Pokemon that can take on a strong Pokemon yet. Oh, okay. Yeah, so the Rotom phone, what she's referring to is if you fall off a cliff in this game and the fall, you know, would normally damage you or break your legs or something like that, Rotom will actually catch you in midair, which will prevent you from breaking your legs. You would break your arms, though, so I don't know what good that's supposed to do. It just means instead of breaking your legs, you break your arms, but, you know... yeah, I think they talk about the materials for crafting TMs in a little bit, so I'll wait until the game addresses it before we really talk about it. But we've been getting some materials from the Pokemon that we defeat or capture, so just keep in mind that those are there. We might need them later. Maybe if I stare over this cliff. Nope, nothing there. Time to go home. Oh, okay, never mind. Well, I guess whatever it was, it made it out of the water okay. Might be a little waterlogged, though. Okay. Well, that's a strong first impression. Okay. I love how they didn't move the cliff at all. There's the Rotom phone catching you, by the way. It's a little goofy, but I guess it's there. They didn't move the cliff at all there. They literally just moved the camera to make it look like the cliff was falling and then just slid it down the thing. I can't tell if I like that because it's just a nice little camera trick or if I hate that because I know it's a cost-cutting measure. Oh, well. Hey, big guy. Listen, I know that they use liquid cooling systems on computers sometimes now, but this seems ridiculous. I mean, okay. I don't know why it brought me to my key items. I guess I can give you a... I got a super potion. Would that help? You look a little stronger than my Pokemon do. No? So maybe you fainted then, so maybe you need a revive. Okay, well... I don't have any berries that can restore HP either, and this is definitely not a situation of power points. You, I feel like you probably prefer motor oil over this, but you like sandwiches, buddy? It was going to be mine, but I'll be okay until we get to school. Trust me, Mom made it special. It's really good. Don't worry. It's not going to bite you. Probably you'll bite it back. Yeah. Yeah, I'd say. I'm surprised you have the digestive system for that. You're welcome. Well, seems like you perked up a little bit. Where were you headed? You weren't headed in there, were you? You sure about that? My friend said that that cave is full of some really strong Pokemon. Although I don't know how I'm getting out of here, to be fair. Without going through the cave. Well, that sounds like a battle cry. Whoa. Well, dang, man, what was in that sandwich? I don't know, but made him go Super Saiyan or something. Well, I guess I don't have to worry about you in the cave now, do I? Alright then. Maybe I should follow him. If nothing else but for my own protection. And as a matter of fact, once the game loads up and the draw distance actually lets you see them again, this guy's waiting for you anyway. So I guess we know where we're going and with whom. Gotta go to Inlet Grotto. And just like in other video games, like for example, The Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion, which came out in 2005, your walking distance as the player is slower than the walking distance of the NPCs, which means you end up having to slowly trail after them and then having to run in order to catch up to them after a while. Why do they do that in video games? What is, like, who thought that was a good idea? Oh, hi, Nimona. Down here. Yeah, I'm good. Broton broke my fall. That's all good. I'll just have to make my way up there. Well, maybe you should have come looking with me, then we wouldn't be in this mess. Or we'd both be in this mess, in which case I guess we'd figure it out. What are you going to do? Use Vine Whip? Your Sprigatito doesn't exactly know that. They switched that out for the move Leafage at some point, and I have no idea why. It feels like they both serve the same purpose, but whatever. Well, that was pretty strong. Must have used Dragon Claw or something. Looks like a dragon, anyway. Who are you growling at over here? We could actually catch Pokemon while we're down here, although as far as I'm aware, I'm not sure if you can switch your lead Pokemon right now, so I think Arrokuda is just kind of stuck in the starting position until we get out of here, which is fine, because Arrokuda needs the experience anyway. Unfortunately, kind of similarly to Squawkabilly and Tarantula, Arrokuda is in a slow experience group. As a matter of fact, the slow experience group. Not quite as slow as the erratic group, but still pretty slow in terms of gaining experience. So we'll make it work. It's just going to take a little while compared to everybody else. Anyway, we got a Yungoos down here. I like Yungoos. I think Yungoos is silly looking. I'm not a big fan of the evolution. Most of the time when Pokemon stand up on 2 legs after having been on 4 legs originally, I'm not a fan. I don't know why. It just rubs me the wrong way, but yeah, I like Yungoos. I don't like the evolution. Might evolve it later anyway, but... Oh, we can claim a reward for our progress made in the Pokedex. Cool. You don't, holy crap. Level 40? You don't, mind if I grab this, do you? It's just a Pokeball. Right? Hope I didn't take something vital away from that thing. Holy man. That would not be a good day, getting involved with that. Oh boy. Ah, good. A Pokemon I was actually looking for. Let's see. I gotta be careful with Aqua Jet. This Diglett would probably fall over backwards if I use a super effective move, so let's just not. We can switch in battle as well, by the way, so I don't have to have Aerocuda doing all the work, but... it's not like I'm at a low amount of HP yet, so might as well. But Diglett is available in this cave as well, and I actually want to catch Diglett. It will be absolutely vital for cheesing one of the fights coming up right before you go to the academy, so. And naturally, around here, we like to do a little cheesing sometimes, so. Okay, well, Yungoos almost got a level. Scatterbug's level 5, that's good. Unfortunately, we have to take the poor baby outside, which means that Diglett's skin will be exposed to light, and that will not be good for it, but, you know. It's fine. I thought about using a Diglett in one of my other playthroughs as my ground type. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it yet or not. Can I go down here yet? Kind of. I'm being blocked by an invisible plat wall! We got to go up here first. Yeah, we got to hit this cutscene barrier or else we won't be able to go down in there without wave dashing our way through the barrier and then just ending up here anyway, where ye old electric dragon scares away this pack of Houndour. They're all probably like level 4. You don't have to be that mean to them. Like, good lord. I mean, I guess they weren't exactly hospitable to you, but let's grab this. We'll go back down and grab the other thing. See, and the nice part actually would have been if they had not made most of the Houndour, if not all of the Houndour in this cave hostile and cutscene only, is you could actually come down here and you could have a Grass, Fire, Water core no matter which starter you picked by the time you got to the lighthouse, because if you could catch a Houndour down here, you could have a Fire type if you didn't pick a Fire starter, which would be really nice, but as far as I'm aware, you can't actually catch a Houndour in this area until much later when you can come back here, but, you know, I guess it's fine. You can catch Houndours later at a higher level as well, but it would have been really nice to have at this point in the game. A Fire Dark type is no joke at this point. I mean, I guess it's not like having a fighting type right now where there's a ton of normal types, but Houndour would be pretty nice to have this early. Pokemon XD had the right idea. That's all I'm saying. What's behind me? Oh. Hi, Mama. You're not still mad about that Pokeball, are you? No, more likely she's mad about us scaring off her children. Why am I the one doing the fighting? Make the electric dragon do it. Yeah, okay, it's Papa, actually, and this, Aerocuda will die, so throw a Pokeball and hope for the best? Nope, well, that's not gonna work. Alright, well then get the heck out of there. Really? So what do you want me to do? Throw out a different Pokemon? No, we have to fight. Alright, I guess. So that they can not play the battle animation and our Pokemon can instantly retreat back to our bag. I mean, you could have literally just done that in a cutscene, you know. Well, this isn't good. See, this is what you should have done to begin with. Okay, well, I can probably handle the small fry while you work on the big guy, I think. 3-on-1 might be a little tough, but we could give it a shot. Okay, that's a lot of Houndour. It's like the whole population of the cave. Hello. I would say please put me down, but that's probably not a good idea right now. Matane? Oh no, wait, that's Japanese, never mind. Andale, that's what I'm looking for. Well, now I know how a ragdoll feels. Great. Didn't think I'd be getting manhandled by an electric dragon this early in the game, but if that didn't happen, I would have been manhandled by the Houndoom anyway, so. Yeah, well, it was pretty close. Kind of touch and go. You okay, buddy? You look a little hunched over after your exertion. Oh. Okay. Guess the sandwich wore off. Probably. What's a cyclozar? I mean, why are you asking me? It's not like I know. I just got a Pokemon. How could I tell? Yeah, like I said, it was a little touch and go, but... Yeah, no, that wasn't us. Yeah, no. Just kind of did his own thing. Worked out, but he did his own thing, so... What do you mean, yet? More like ever. Why would they just give me a legendary Pokemon like this early in the game? Oh, good, you're awake now. I don't know, let's ask him. Sounds like it. I mean, I guess. You say that like it's an inevitability. I don't even think you can ever do that in this game now that I think about it. Like, is there ever a point in the game where you can... Well, actually, no. In the very, very post-game, I think you can fight Nemona with this guy in your party. But... Okay. So we exchange phone numbers so that she can call us at fixed points in the game. We can never call her. She can only call us. And she gives us the Swift TM. So if we didn't have Round on Fuecoco, I guess we could use this instead. And yes, TMs are back to being used only once. In order for you to get a more, teach a Pokemon more than one Pokemon a type of TM, you can find them out in the field, or you can use the materials, the crafting materials that you find from Pokemon every time you defeat them to craft more TMs. I guess for an open world structure, it's an idea. I think it really only adds to grinding in this game, though, because, again, they made a lot of good quality of life changes in terms of, like, making competitive Pokemon a little easier in this one, and then they make you grind out materials to craft TMs. So that all that means you're doing is you're taking the wild Pokemon and you're sticking them in a blender. Like, I don't know how I feel about that. Like, Pokemon, especially since the Ore region, Pokemon a lot of the times has been about like the natural stability of the region being disrupted by the evil team. You're going to have me wander out into the wilderness and massacre an entire army of Houndour if I need their fur for something? Like for a flamethrower TM? That seems a little obtuse, a little counterintuitive to what a 10-year-old should be doing, doesn't it? Okay, I'm off my soapbox. Let's just go to the lighthouse. Like, from a story perspective, I don't like it. From a game perspective, I guess it's fine, but it's probably not my favorite addition. Yeah, let's slide off the hill again. See? Don't have to play the animation where I almost fell off. Oh yeah, we can check on our Pokedex now. It was, what, the plus key or the minus key? It's the minus key. Otherwise, it would have shown my map. So, the Pokedex app is on the minus key. And it said you can claim a reward. So for every 10 Pokemon that you capture, you'll get a little trophy icon that you can see over in the corner there. So the Pokedex has the exclamation point in red, and then it has that little trophy. When you see that trophy, that means you can claim a reward by evaluating your Pokedex. So if you go in and you click on the X button to evaluate, there we go. Excuse me. Every 10, we get a reward. In this particular case, we get 3 bags of Stardust, which you can sell for money. Very nice. Probably going to do that anyway for XP. Yeah, and I mean, I guess. I just don't know if wild Pokemon in this game, at least not until later, I don't know if they're the best source of experience points, honestly. Like, I mean, in some cases, yes, but in a lot of cases, especially in the early game, wild Pokemon don't offer a ton of experience points, so it's mostly trainer battles where you want to get the experience points from, but I guess those are limited in number, so it really depends on the situation and whether you've exhausted all the trainer battles or not. Huh. Well, another TM that we can't get just yet. I'll have to keep that in mind for later. I think if I remember correctly, you can actually see a Houndour down here after going into the cave there, into Inlet Grotto, but I don't think there's one down here. Yeah, it's a Lechonk. Yeah, and I mean, I could be wrong about that. You could get some good experience from some Pokemon. And actually thinking about it, now that I think about it, especially the Pokemon that don't evolve. You can encounter some of them fairly early in the game at like level 15 or so, and those ones do offer some pretty good experience. We'll actually be using a couple of them for some experience points in a little while, because we're not exactly going to play this game in the order that I think a lot of people... Really? They didn't give me a full restore after all that? Yeah, that's fine. We're not exactly going to be playing this game in the order that I think a lot of people play it. A lot of people kind of go in level sequence order. I have other ideas. We'll just say it that way. So, is there any method of renewable trainer battles in this? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure the trainers, once you beat them, they don't, like, respawn, quote unquote. I think there are some trainer battles later in the game, like at like different, not institutions, but like different buildings and stuff in the game where you can fight trainers over and over again. But I don't think there are any like trainers out in the wild that you can fight more than once, as far as I'm aware. So I could be wrong about that, but as far as I'm aware, I don't think so. All right, what have I got What am I working with here? You've got Leer. Has anybody got Growl? You've got Tail Whip. I should probably stick Aqua Jet in front. I like to stick my stab move, same type of attack bonus, up near the front, up near the top of the list, just because it's easier for me to grab them that way. Yeah, I don't have anybody with Growl right now. I guess I could grab somebody out of the PC that has Growl. Squawkabilly does, but it's level 2. You don't have Growl, do you? No, you do have Growl. Okay, well, Palmy, you're coming out of the PC for exactly one fight. I'll stick Diglett in the front. I want to get Diglett to, like, a little bit of a higher level by the time we get to the Academy, because right before we get to the Academy, there's a fight where Diglett will be instrumental, but, you know, until that point, not so much. Oh, okay, I guess I should probably heal then, since I got a million potions anyway. I don't think I need to heal Aerokuda. Another thing that they make you do on this screen is they used to let you heal multiple Pokemon with the same item if you just highlighted the item and then kept trying to highlight the Pokemon. You're back down to having to select the item, select the Pokemon you want to use it on, and then select another item to heal another Pokemon. Which seems silly, because that was a problem they fixed in Black and White 1 and 2. So, why do you want Growl? Never mind, guess we will see. You'll see in just a few seconds here. I guess Growl isn't really necessary because I have 6 Pokemon, so I can literally just throw them at the next fight, but... Growl will make the next fight a little bit safer. You talking about me, or you... Oh, no, definitely not. Talking about the electric lizard thing. Oh, you, piss off! Oh, okay. There's a humanities track at school? I figured they just did Pokemon battling. So I guess his dad is the professor of the region. Interesting. Have we ever had a professor's son? We've had a professor's grandson, but we haven't had a professor's son, I don't think, or daughter. Yeah, because how's not it? And then, yeah, no, as far as I know, I don't think so. Interesting. Well, that's novel. What do you mean, form? Well, it's not quite as strong as it was at the bottom of the cliff after I fed it a sandwich, but I meant it down there. Yeah, not my best moment. Slumpy, I guess. Why? What's wrong with it? Oh, okay. So this is its non-battle form? And yes, apparently the Pokemon's name is Miraidon. I feel like that's something we already got, except without the mirror, but, you know. Or the me, as it turns out. Why is the lab locked? Your dad didn't give you a key? Going to the academy, yeah. What makes you think I want to command it? If it belongs to someone else, why would I want to take it from them? I don't have a snag machine in this game. I get the impression he doesn't like Nimona very much. Keeps ignoring her. Yeah, sure, why not? I guess, it just means I'll get more experience for my Pokemon, so I'm down for that. Okay, sure. I guess I can be your punching bag. Alright, let's see what you got, Arvin. Oh, Squavit, damn it! I told you, man! I told you eventually Mom was gonna kick you out if you kept eating lunch out from under her. Why didn't you listen to me? Look at you now. You're a freeloader. Some random jackass just caught you out in the wild. Why would you do this to yourself? Alright, anyway, we have to fight Arvin's level 5 Squavit. I'm going to use Sand Attack and hope I don't die on the first attack, and then we're going to swap over to Palmy and use Growl a couple of times. Just because Squavit is a normal type, and normal types using Tackle in the early game is a lot of damage. Maybe I'm making it sound worse than it actually is, but each of your Pokemon gets experience, and for every Pokemon that actually sees battle, they get the full experience points. Everybody else gets 50%, so I'm okay with doing it this way. Yeah, like, look at that. That's 7 damage. I mean, granted, these guys are at the same level as each other, but might as well make the fight a little more free. Also lets you listen to Arvin's theme in the background, which is pretty good. So, I'm okay with dragging this out a little bit. I'm playing this like it's an SMT game at this point. Like, nope, gotta get my debuffs up before I do anything else. Aerokuda needs to get in for experience, so let's do that. Always want to get our Pokemon with slow experience groups in for experience if possible in these bigger fights. Especially if they're at a lower level than the Pokemon you're fighting. Like, there ain't no better chance to get experience than that. So. Alright, and that's that. Let's go over to... I could just go straight into Natalie. I think I'm just going to go straight into Natalie. We'll let Hoppip clean up if Natalie can't handle it. But with 2 Growls and a Sand Attack in play, it should make things a little bit easier. Alright, let's see what you got. I don't have to worry about, like, not weakening you down because, well, you're not a wild Pokemon, Squavit. Not anymore, you're not. Alright, there we go. Hate to do that to a family member, but you did this to yourself. Oh, good. Now Diglett gets Growl. Great. Not that it would have mattered much, because Diglett is not exactly a tank. Oh my god, the camera! I don't know why it does that. Like, why make that swing around effect if it can't work, you know? But, whatever. It's fine, I guess. Sorry, I keep trying to cough away from the mic so that way I don't, like, blow anybody's eardrums out or something. Yeah, or against a family member who didn't want to fight me, but, you know, there is that. Oh, okay, I guess I am going to take this legendary dragon motorcycle off your hands right away. Because there's Miraidon's Pokeball. It's a key item, so you actually can't use Miraidon in battle. Not that it would battle right now anyway, because it's not in its battle form, but... Because his dad's the professor, and his dad probably owns it, right? Oh, okay. Bye. I think he has selective hearing, Nimona. You'll learn what that is later. Well, you heard the guy. Get on in this Pokeball. Alright, well, we have a legendary Pokemon within 2 hours of starting the game. I don't know how I feel about that. Well, yeah, but he has to keep it a secret because they can't just tell you the whole game's story 2 hours in. Gonna need to take another Mucinex pretty soon. The one that I took this morning is starting to wear off, I can tell, just because there's stuff in my throat that's not coming up when I cough. But that's okay. Like I said, it should be gone by Friday, Saturday anyway. I shouldn't feel any detrimental effects so, by that point. You know, thinking about it, we might not fully make it up to the school today because there's quite a lot to do still before we get there. We'll see it when we go up to the lighthouse in a second, but there's the Pokemon Center down there, and then up the hill there is the academy. So we've got, actually, I mean, it's not a large distance, but there's quite a lot to do in that distance. So we'll, I don't know, we might make it up there today, but I'm not sure. We'll see. Alright, anyway. Yeah, let's keep all these guys in there, and then we'll go from there. Oh, excuse me. Alright, let's see. Nenemona's there, but... Let's see if I can do this. Hold on. Oh. Okay. Guess not. I was going to try to catch one of the Wingull that's just hanging around up here, but they fly away too fast. And even if you're quick on the draw like I was there, they won't let you fight them. Because your trainer just kind of throws the Pokeball off the lighthouse. I really hope that Diglett's okay, because I just literally threw Diglett's Pokeball at the... I hope Diglett's okay down there. Oh my god. Anyway, there's the town where the school is. Mesagoza. Yeah, easy to find, I guess. Yeah, it'll be fun, I think. But all that schoolwork. I will say this, I am a big fan of the soundtrack in this game as well. There's some tracks that are only okay, but most of the tracks are at the very least good, if not great, and this is the South Province theme that's playing currently. It's one of my favorites in the game. I really enjoy it. They kind of went all out for this one, because from my understanding, Junichi Masuda, if I remember correctly, he was like one of the composers earlier in the history of the Pokemon games. This is the last game where he was going to have like a direct role in the direction of the games. After this, he's going to be more of like a head person in the Pokemon company rather than being directly involved in game development. So I think this was sort of like their send-off to him, kind of in a way, with the soundtrack that they did in this one. And I think they did a pretty good job. Thanks, I think. I mean, I guess it's just one hill, but there is a lot to do up and down that one hill, so yeah, the little town down there where probably all the highest paid teachers live is Los Platos, and that's where we're going first. Sort of. A bit. As you can see, if we draw down here, there is an entire, like, this is the size of about 3 routes in some of the old games, section of area that we can go into on our way to Los Platos. I don't know if we'll go there before or after, but we will definitely be going there, because there is a lot of stuff over there. So now here's the question. Do I keep Aracuda? I mean, I can't get enough of the face, honestly. Or do I look for another water type here? I'm going to need one of these water types on this route for something very specific later on in the game, but are you going to fight me if I... Oh. Walk past, huh? I guess not. I see a Happiny. Hold on. Okay, cool. Happiny are worth a lot of experience points, even if you catch them, so I'm going to try to just grab this while I have the chance. Oh, good, level 6. That's nice. We'll see if we can catch her. If we can't, we'll at the very least knock her out and go from there. Yeah, there's quite a lot of Pokemon to capture on the way to school, so it's well worth your time to kind of just explore around in the grass, just find as much as you can. And again, that'll only help you later, because, you know what, hang on, let me check. Chat might have, there we go. I was going to say my chat might have frozen again, like it did previously. Alright, with all these defense girls, I don't think Aqua Jet's going to do a whole lot. Especially since I'm a level lower than you. But I guess it doesn't have to do a lot, right? I only need to get you to a little less than half HP. And there you are. Well, thank you for not attacking me, Peony. That's very helpful of you. I'll take that. Maybe. With the doubled catch rate, it should have a little bit of a better chance. Yeah, okay. I think most of the catch rates early on are pretty close to the max, honestly. So, at least here in, Pocopath and Los Platos. But look at all that EXP we got for that. Almost everybody got a level up. Aracuda got another attack. Hoppip's getting Fairy Wind right away, which is really nice to have. Just some nice coverage to have, Not that there's too many things that Fairy Wind is particularly useful against for now, but... Well, you can fight Dragon types very early on in this game, like earlier than most games, so... So, that's helpful. Aqua Jet is a physical attack, actually, so it would use physical attack to do that. I think pretty much all of Aerokuda's moves are physical attacks. I don't think it gets a special attack by level up, so... And if we carry around Happiny in our party, eventually it'll gain enough happiness to be ready to evolve into Blissey as soon as we evolve into Chansey. But before we even get the chance to do that, we're going to need to find an Oval Stone, and those are a little later. We're not going to be able to find them just quite yet, so I'll probably just stick Happiny in the box for right now. We'll come back to it later. There's a few Pokemon that'll evolve by happiness that you can find on this route on the way to school, so... you can always just carry them around if you want. Alright, now that we have that experience, we can probably use it to fight this youngster. As you can see, walking past the youngster's line of sight does not cause him to fight us, because unlike in previous games, the trainers just won't fight you on eye contact now. You have to talk to them in order to do that. So... Now, it says you're a youngster, but I'm like 10, and I'm twice your height. Are you a youngster or a dwarf? Like, are your parents Smiths that live in the center of the earth? Because, good lord, kid, that Tarantula is as tall as you are. I'm pretty sure Tarantula is like 2 feet tall. How young are you? How are you even walking around? Anyway, let's send out Aerokuda. But yeah, so there's quite a few Pokemon that you can capture around this place. We're going to go down to the water here in a second, and so some of the Pokemon we saw on the beach that were a little too high of a level when we caught Aerokuda will be available down there. We'll get to Los Platos shortly afterwards, and then we'll go from there. There's one very specific Pokemon that I want to capture between now and the end of the stream, but I don't think it'll be too much of a tall order to catch them by the end of the stream. Alright, you guys string-shotted, so let's go out to Hoppip. And then, you know, why'd I go out to Hoppip? This is a bug type. I should be going out to a fire type. Hope that kid's parents are nearby. Yeah, because good lord, man. Like, there's no way this kid is more than like 3 years old or something. It makes me wonder why his parents even gave him spending money that I'm going to take from him when I beat him in battle. Like, what is this kid doing with that spending money? He's 3. Why does he need money? Parents are getting him ready for the economy early on. Holy. Alright, well, we made it work out even without Nate's help, but that's okay. Nate's the highest level at the moment, so I'm kind of just giving her a rest. Yeah, like, look, what does this kid need 220 Poké Dollars for? But yeah, so that's one of the changes that they made in this game compared to the other ones, just because they figure, okay, well, you know, if they run off into this open world, into a place where they're not supposed to be yet, they could, like, run into a trainer that's got Pokemon way higher level than them, and then, you know, they're hosed. These people are hosed, so... Psyduck! Hello, Psyduck. I almost used you in my Pokemon XD playthrough, but I ended up not doing that. At the last minute, I decided to just capture Quagsire instead. Probably would have worked out better if I had used you, because then I would have... Well, no, actually, now that I think about it, no, it wouldn't have, because I still wouldn't have an answer for Ludicolo just with you. I should have caught Crobat instead of grabbing the Salamence at the end of the game is what I should have done, but, you know. Salamence is one of those Pokemon that I never get to use, so I was like, ah, you know what, I'll use it, why not? And then I got to use it for like 3 battles. So, oh well. This should give good experience, though. I'll do one more Absorb, I'll switch to Aerokuda, and then we'll try to capture. Or maybe I should switch now because there's 2 Tail Whips. So Hoppip's gonna go first. I'll just Fairy Wind, how about that? Yes, Doc, indeed. Where you think you were going with my duck? What am I gonna serve? Strudel. Oh, good idea. That's the guy that I'm taking the Psyduck from. This is a wild Psyduck. I'm just making a Courage the Cowardly Dog reference. Because that show was awesome. And anyway. I didn't see if the Psyduck had Cloud9 or not. I wasn't paying attention at the beginning of the battle. If it does have Cloud9, that's pretty okay. Especially in this region where random weather events can just happen out of the blue. But, yeah, it's okay. Oh, good experience again. Aerocuda got up to level 7, so that's good. Can't complain with that. And Diglett's up to level 7. I'd like to get Diglett to about level 8 if possible. And probably Scatterbug, if I can get it fully evolved. Probably won't have him before we get to the school, but if I can get it fully evolved before I really start like putting a whole bunch of Pokemon in my party, that wouldn't be a bad thing. Alright, so Los Platos is down there, but instead of going down there, let's head this way. Go down the river and see what else we can catch here, besides Psyduck. There's a couple of other Pokemon down here. Or at least there should be. They're not exactly showing up just yet. Then again, the game just about skipped. It almost had a heart attack there having them load in a second ago, so... Saw it hiccup from here. Oh, there's one right there. I was going to get a surprise attack on you, but... Well, you're just kind of hanging out. You want to follow me? You can follow me if you want. I'll go after this one instead. Oh, stay still so I can get behind you. There we go. Azumarill. I like Azumarill. Originally, Azumarill was going to be the water type that I used for this playthrough, but, well, there's a reason why I chose not to. I may eventually show why, I just have to evolve Azumarill, but, I don't know how long until... You know, you're normal fairy. I'm just going to go to Aerocuda. Not water type until you're a Meryl. But yeah, I really like Azumarill because of the huge power ability. Ever since the physical special split, it's been really solid. But in this particular game, there's a problem. And actually, you can kind of see the problem in this battle. So, like, Azumarill is all the way down there, right? And so Aerocuda is floating. This game implements head tracking. You can actually see Aerocuda staring down at Azumarill from here right now. So, like, it's following Azumarill's bouncing with its head. That is simultaneously a good and a bad thing. And I'll talk about it if I ever evolve Azumarill into Azumarill. Wonder what the Terra-type thing is for. Probably something later on. Yeah, we'll see what the Terra-type thing does in a little while. Once we get to the Academy, we'll learn a little more about it. So. But in the meantime, we caught an Azumarill. Awesome. Oh, by the way, if there are Pokemon that you catch on this route that you want to evolve with Happiness, like Azumarill or like Happiny, I think there's an Igglybuff available as well in a little bit. You'll be able to get a Soothe Bell pretty quickly once you get into the town where the Academy is. There's actually one just laying around in the town. So if you don't want to, you know, do their stuff with Happiness by walking around with them right now, don't worry, because you'll have a good excuse to do it later when you actually have a Soothe Bell. And it's not really that much later either, so... If you don't want to do it now, that's okay. You'll have a reason to do it in just a little bit. Alright, couple more Pokemon down here. We gotta go find Weasel. Saw him down by the beach before, so should be one down here. Or at least one. And then there's whatever that's supposed to be. Well, I guess we can find out now, huh? Diglett, meet your water brother. Wiglet. Okay, then. Don't know how I feel about that, but sure, why not? Hoppip, please just absorb the soul of this thing out of existence, because I don't... I think if I remember correctly, it's based on a garden eel. And I think that's a type of fish, question mark? I mean, it would be an eel if it's a garden eel. But... Okay, well, that was almost death. I guess it would have literally absorbed the soul out of him. But that's fine. I should mention, by the way, also, so like if I try to click the camera in here, you hear how it's making that noise? It means you can't enable dynamic camera for this particular battle. It's probably because of the angle of the beach here. The slope of it is just too high for the dynamic camera to work. Because if you were to use the dynamic camera, it would probably clip into the ground, so... Don't know why they did that. I feel like you should have just, like, I don't know, made it so that the camera wouldn't clip into the ground, but that probably required more dev time than they had. So instead of having a regional variant on Diglett, they just developed an entirely new Pokemon that is Diglett in all but one letter and typing. I think it has the same stats even. Seems like a really weird thing to do, but okay, fair enough, I guess. You do you. No relation to the Monster Hunter Wigglers. Yeah, no, that would be a little more terrifying, I think. So, Wiglet has a little bit of environmental interaction, though, because, like, the ones that you see down there, you see how they're kind of hunched over rather than being all the way up? As soon as they see you, they'll kind of pop into the ground, like that. See? As for Wingull, yeah, it's not required to sneak to get the surprise attack, you just have to hit them in the back to get the surprise attack, so there you go. You probably have Water Gun, like, right now, so... I promise we'll get you into battle soon there, Natalie. We're just running into a string of Pokemon that you don't have a good type advantage against. Oh, there's Weasel out in the water. But yeah, as you can see, Azurill is not a big fan of the fighting over there, but Psyduck is kind of just okay with it. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure he's sitting down right now. Yes, he is. He's just kind of hanging out. Alright, cool. Azurill needs a friend, so Psyduck decided to sit down with Azurill for a moment. Offer a supportive shoulder. Alright, now if we get this Wingull, I want to check this Wingull's ability, actually. I like Wingull. I'm not as big a fan of its evolution, but I do like Wingull itself. That being said, if you're going to use Wingull and its evolution, you probably want to get a specific ability, and I'll see if this one has it when we look at its Pokedex. Once we're done looking at its Pokedex entry, I can look at it on the menu here. Let's see. Did we get the one that I was looking for? No. Okay. So this Wingull has the Keen Eye ability. That's not the one that I'm looking for. It can also have, if I remember correctly, the Hydration ability. And if it has Hydration, when it evolves into Pelipper, it will have the Drizzle ability, which will automatically start 5 turns of rain when you begin the battle with it. And that makes Pelipper a lot stronger than it was back in Gen 3, like by a lot, like by a ton. So, because it just gets 50% boost on all of its water type moves then. So that's no joke. I like how it would have been like -1 inches of water, but Diglett is so scared of water, we decided to put him on a floater anyway, just to be safe. I don't want my poor boy getting wet. That would not be good for him. Anyway, let's catch this Magikarp. There's a Weasel that was behind me. I'll probably just catch that one. I'd like to get a surprise attack, but I don't think I need it, so... And then we'll go from there. Starting to run out of Pokeballs, but that's okay. It means we're using them for something important, after all. So... And we should find some more along the way, anyway. Try to think how many other Pokemon there are to catch on the way to school. There's quite a lot, actually, but... Yeah, you know... Like I said, I'm not really opposed to the idea of catching a whole bunch early if it makes it easier to catch stuff later on, so... Magikarp's another one that could be pretty good to have around because it's in the slow experience group, but if you get it to level 20, it immediately evolves into Gyarados and becomes one of the strongest Pokemon in the game, so, like, you really can't go wrong with it, but there's quite a lot of Pokemon that you can have that sort of an impression of in this game, so... Alright, Diglett's level 8, so that's a good thing. Everybody's kind of at a good level at the moment. So probably what I'll do is I'll go up to Los Platos, and I'll just catch everything that I want to catch along the way there. But once I'm done with that, I probably won't go exploring the area off to the side that we saw from the top of the lighthouse. We'll come back and do that later, because really the highest level that I want to be at by the time we get to the academy is level 12. And, I mean... Nate's going to be there shortly anyway, so just from all the fighting we're doing, because she only needs, like, what? Hang on, let me see. Yeah, only 177 to the next level. So she'll probably be level 12 very shortly after that, and because of that, probably better to just go straight to the academy once we get a little closer. That Psyduck appears to be sleeping. I don't think I can get a... Hang on, let's see. See if this Weasel turns around. Ooh, okay. Get in the grass so he doesn't see me. There we go. Oop. Wow. Did a 180 there. Did you see that? But yes, this teeny tiny little patch of grass is in fact enough for me to hide myself completely from this Weasel in such a way that it can't see me. And by that I mean they have effectively turned these Pokemon into Bethesda NPCs. I don't think that's something that you wanted to model yourself after, but okay, we didn't get the preemptive strike. That's okay. I don't think I'll need it anyway. It's a Weasel. It's not really going to be that hard to capture, you know. Straight up to Hoppip, I think, because Absorb is just good for this. And I think we've caught everything that we can catch up to this point now. Like, we could have caught one of the new Gen 9 Pokemon down on the beach near Nemona's house. We could have caught, it's a Pokemon called Wattrel, but I don't think they spawn at anything less than level 14 or 15, so it would have been very high leveled, and we would have basically steamrolled everything from here to past the Academy because of how high of a level it was. So, I do like Wattrel, though. It's a cool new Pokemon. We'll see it later, so we'll catch it later. For now, we'll just catch the old standbys that we're seeing. Alright. Grab Weasel. I want to check after this how many Pokemon we've got, like, overall so far. Like, if we fully evolved everything that we had, how many Dex entries would we have? That's what I want to check. So... And sorry, I haven't really been reading the Pokedex entries for these ones. I did that in Let's Go Pikachu, but there's a ton of Pokemon in this game, and I'm not sure if I really want to read all the Pokedex entries, so... Excuse me. Yeah, I don't think we can catch anything else for now until we go back up the hill and go across the bridge that Psyduck was at, so... Excuse me again. What was I going to do? Oh yeah, check how many I've got total. Okay, let's see. So if we fully evolved everything that we have so far, we'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, although I'm never evolving Natalie, so I guess not 8, 9, 10, just 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. So right now, with Natalie never evolving, we have a total of 40 Pokemon, which is 1/10 of the Pokedex in this game. Of course, we have to evolve them in order to get to that point, but hey, that's not bad for the first couple of hours. I'll take it. Hey, Conker, it's going good. How's it going for you there? We are still on the road to the Academy. We got our starter. It was a Fuecoco, because Fuecoco is a precious gentleman, in this case, gentle lady, that we need to protect at all times. And, yeah, we're just taking our time, heading to the Academy, as slow as we can. What'd you do, find another coin? Oh, jeez, I scared him off. Well, anyway, if you find Gimme Ghoul, those are those little guys with the coins out in the wild, you can scare them off and take their coin, but that's kind of mean. What kind of an asshole would do that? I always feel bizarre about swearing when I play Pokemon games. I probably, like, shouldn't, but at the same time it's like, well, what if a kid looks this up and they hear me say the word asshole? Their parents would have something to say about that. But I did mark this as not made for kids, so, like, I don't know. Hopefully YouTube markets it not to children. We'll see. There's a Ralts in the grass over here. I'm gonna wait for it to turn around. That's not quite turning around. Come on there, little person. Turn your back on me. Why did my voice turn into that one weird old guy from Family Guy when I said that? Probably because I'm stalking this small child. See what I mean? This is not a video made for children. If you're having your children watch this, please have them watch someone closer to their own age. Oh, God. Okay. Anyway, Ralts, you have Trace? No, you have Synchronized. Trace would be nice to have, but Trace is an ability where it traces the ability of the Pokemon that it is fighting. But this one does not have Trace. It has this, I almost said Astonish. This one has Synchronize instead, which is fine, but not really what I need. It's also a female Ralts, which means I can't evolve it into a Gallade, and I've already used a Gardevoir, so we definitely, in my Pokemon XD playthrough. So I might evolve this one, but definitely won't be used on the team. Just finished cutting your hair, got long enough for you to need to cut it. Nice. Well, hopefully it's a little bit better, especially as the weather gets warmer. I can tell you for sure, having long hair when the weather gets warmer, not much fun. So, hopefully it's better now. Oh, you got Poison Powder. Okay, I'll take that over Tackle. I don't know if that was a good idea, because you do have a lonely nature, Hoppip, but it's fine. Oh, you're going to get all 3 of the powder moves now, aren't you? Well, I guess we can replace Stun Spore, just in case Sleep Powder's later. Replace Tail Whip. I've already got access to Leer on Nate, so... On Natalie. Yeah, okay, you're going to get all 3. So we'll replace Stun Spore with Sleep Powder, then. Because why not? I don't really need Stun Spore all that badly. We can get Thunder Wave later, so... Okay, but that's another capture to add to the collection. That means we've got, if we evolve everything, we've got a total of 43 Pokemon now for the Pokedex. Neat. Which is no relation to Nate, who has a name that probably looks a lot like Neat, but nope, not really. People who've been around here long enough, they know you can and will swear to varying degrees. Yes, that's true. Like I said, usually in games like this that are rated for more for everyone, I try to avoid it a little bit, but it does happen. Like, sometimes it just happens. I might have to curb that a little bit, though, because with the way that, like, there's a code of ethics with dietetics, like, because you have to join the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics when you, like, actually enroll as a dietitian. I don't know if you have to, actually, now that I think about it, but we're all doing it as part of the combined program I'm in. And when you do that, they, like... You can get in trouble for posting things on social media that are not becoming of, like, professionals, basically. And I don't know how much swearing in a YouTube video about a video game counts towards that, but, yeah, I might have to curb it a little bit. I mean, I've been curbing it more and more the older I get, honestly. It just becomes less and less necessary as you go. Is that a Wooper? Is that a little guy? Look at this little guy covered in mud. Little gal covered in mud. Paldea and Wooper. So they do have regional variants in this one, like they had in other games where they had a regional version of this Pokemon or that Pokemon. In this game, Wooper has a regional variant. They just happen to also have Diglett and Wiglet for some reason. Don't know why. Let's see if you have Water Absorb. Nope. Okay, Poison Point, which means I'm probably getting poisoned right now. Never mind. Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, it's just one of those things. As I get older, it becomes less and less of something I need to do, but it still happens sometimes, and I just want to... I want to make sure I'm careful about it, because I don't want them... They usually, as far as I'm aware, they usually only say something if it's, like, egregious, but I really don't want to invite that on myself. That would not be fun, after all the work I'm doing to get in as a dietitian, you know? It's like, okay, like, let's not do something stupid. So... Oh, good. We can make another claim on our rewards, or rather, we can claim another reward from the Pokedex, because we caught 20 Pokemon. So there's a Great Ball, or 10. So now we don't have to worry so much about not having a lot of Pokeballs. You can get a Thunderstone if you catch 30 Pokemon, and there actually is, Pichu is available to capture pretty soon. So you can get a Raichu very, very early if you were to do that. So now I want to go up this hill for a quick second. I'm going to go this way, because if I remember correctly... Not here yet. Maybe the draw distance is catching it. Nope. Usually it's right around here. Looks like it disappeared. You can catch a Deerling up here, and I don't know where those ones went. I might have gone past it and then it disappeared, but you can catch a Deerling up there, and sometimes, I'm not sure if it just disappears or what, but Deerling is actually very interesting in this one because it actually has, so it has seasonal variants. Now there are no seasons in Paldea, at least as far as I'm aware, not during the game's events anyway, but there are 4 separate regions, or rather 4 separate sections of the region. There's north, south, east, and west sections, and depending on where you... What's that in the middle of all of you? Is that a Tarantula? Yeah, okay. Depending on where you save and quit the game, Deerling will actually change its seasonal form based on that region. So for example, in the southern region, if it's not spring form, it'll change to spring form. In the eastern region, it'll change to summer form. I believe west form is fall form, and then winter form is north region. So it's actually a really good, like, little thing, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of little things that I enjoy in this game, but there are also a lot of big things that I don't. So... I think I see Igglybuff up ahead. Okay. Well, another one we can catch. Maybe I'll come back and see if Deerling's here after we go to the Pokemon Center, because we're almost there now. So. Alright, well, camera snapped back like Lakichu having a neck breaking, which is not very good for Lakichu, but you know. Aerokuda, just go on blast for a quick second, and then we'll switch out to... I'll probably switch in Natalie. Let's let her get a little... Because she hasn't done much because of all the water types we've seen for the past, like, 30 minutes, so... I was going to say 45 minutes, but it hasn't been that long. I think we fought Arvin at about 9:30 Eastern time, so... Oh, look at that! Tactical switch on a fairy-type move. Get out of here, Lechonk. Why are you even using special attacks? I feel like Lechonk in its evolution probably get a few special attacks, but not that many. Seems a little silly to me, but... Again, I'm not above doing silly things. I once gave an Agron a choice scarf, so... I'm not above being silly. Yes, yes they will. It's pretty common knowledge, actually. Did you not know that? Oh, there's another Ralts. So no Deerling, but 2 Ralts. Great. I think this Igglybuff has its back to me, so... Yep, surprise attack. Perfect. So here's another one that you can evolve with happiness. I think... I'm trying to remember, are there any other Pokemon that you can catch on the way to school that evolve with happiness? I don't think so. No, Pichu. You can catch Pichu, and then that one's another one you can evolve with happiness, so... So quite a few users of your Soothe Bell that you'll have in about, well, we probably won't have it today, but you can have them very soon, so. It likes to sing, but is not yet good at it. Damn, Pokedex throwing shade over here. That's not very nice. Give the girl a little credit. Wait, hold on. Hold the phone. Do I see Bread Boy? I see another Bread Boy over there. I'm staying perfectly still so that maybe I'm invisible to the naked eye here. But I don't think I will be. Hello! You know, you look an awful lot like an interceptor. Bread Dog! Oh god, I love Fido so much. It's such a silly Pokemon. Not an interceptor though, because female. Oh god, very fast apparently. Aerokuda's pretty quick. What do you mean I couldn't get away? Okay. Let's just find a male Fido, and then we'll go from there. Let's see if this one's male. See if I can get a surprise attack. Yes, pet the bread. It's bread. Just pet the bread. That one's female as well. It's got a bit of a weird stat spread as well, because it eventually gets a lot of defense, like physical defense, and its attack stat is okay, but not incredible. That being said, how could I pass up Fido? Like, that is quite literally one of the best puns that you could possibly have, and it's basically just Interceptor from other Pokemon games. Okay, well, there we go. I found Interceptor, everybody. Now all we gotta do is find Houseplant, and the world will be a good place. I don't know why they kind of just gave, like, Fido a literal dog cry, though. Like, they've done that in other Pokemon games, but it's never sounded this, like, realistic, I guess? I don't know. Maybe it's because it was coming through different speakers on the DS when they did it with Lillipup and Herdier and Stoutland. Oh, I forgot to put away Igglybuff. That's okay. Okay, we have the bread. And of course, like I said, you all know what I'm nicknaming this one. Because this one is, other than Natalie, our first official team member. I'll be keeping Interceptor for the entire game. And thankfully, unlike in the DS games, I have to take advantage of this now because in the earlier 2D games, you only have a 10-character limit for the nicknames rather than here where it's a 12-character limit. So because it's a 12-character limit and the word Interceptor is 11 characters, I have to take advantage now before it's too late. And I won't be able to name... I'll be able to have other dogs in other Pokemon games, but they'll have to be named Intercept R or something, or INTR Scepter. So. It needs a cry more like the one Bread. The one that Bread makes. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it could have been something other than just a dog noise, you know. Some of the cries in this game are a little weird though. Like I don't really like some of them. Like there's one in particular that I think is kind of like the most meh. It's one of the newer Pokemon. And it's like if you aren't fighting, there's a specific version of that Pokemon that you can fight. If you aren't fighting that specific version of them, you can't even hear their cry when you fight them in battle in the wild. It's kind of weird. I don't know why they do that. So, all right, before we get to Los Platos, while we're wandering around here a little bit, it's worth mentioning that you can throw your Pokemon out by pressing the same button as the throw Pokeball button while you're just wandering around. And your Pokemon can walk around with you, as you can see here. But do you see a problem? You remember how in Let's Go they would just follow you around and they'd be the same speed as your trainer? Yeah, their speed is now based on their size in Scarlet and Violet, so your Pokemon will constantly either be going too fast, or most of the time, going way too slow and getting left behind and then having to teleport to you, which kind of defeats the purpose of taking them out of the Pokeball to begin with. So, I don't really have Pokemon following me around. I love the feature in Heart Gold, Soul Silver, and Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, but in this game they did it really dirty. And I don't like it. Anyway, so the Pokemon centers are now more like Pokemon kiosks rather than centers. I really need to go get water like right away. I've got 20 minutes left and my throat is killing me. So they have the Pokemon Center, they have the Pokemart at the kiosk with a different person. And also they accept two things now. They accept League Points or cash. We'll talk about League Points in a second. Because you need them for this, the Technical Machine, the TM machine. Okay, fair enough, I guess. That feels like a bit of an oxymoron. You could just call it the Technical Machine, but I see how that could be confusing. But yeah, you can use that, you can use LP specifically in order to make TMs, and then all of the materials you've been getting from defeating wild Pokemon, you can use those as well to make the TMs, so. Oh, okay, cool. Thanks. Oh, 5,000 LP? Man, you're stacked. And she'll also give you some materials that you can use to make some TMs. I don't think it's anything particularly good, but there you go. This is one of the people that was here earlier mentioned that they can play this game online. If you have Nintendo Switch Online, or if you have local co-op people that have other Switches, you can play with them by going to the Union Circle. So, there you go. I don't have either of the above, so. Oh yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to remember some of those mnemonics for the school stuff now, huh? That's not a very good mnemonic, but okay, fair enough. So I guess she's talking about kind of similar to what I was just talking about, where you can have the Pokemon follow you, but this is specifically the R button. You press the ZR button to send a Pokemon out to just follow you. If you press the R button, the Pokemon will physically walk around, pick up items off of the ground, and bring them to you, and fight other wild Pokemon that it runs into. I don't like this feature because the Pokemon are very bloodthirsty and they have a tendency to just murder everything in sight around them, and I don't really like that. It kind of feels like it's disruptive to the ecosystem of Paldea if I just wander around murdering random Pokemon. They'll eventually, they can run out of energy, and then they'll have to come back to you and you'll have to heal them up. But they cannot faint while they're doing these auto battle methods. So that's what this pressing the R button is called. It's called auto battle. They'll pick up items, they'll battle on their own. They can run out of energy, but they won't ever faint. You also don't get EVs using this auto battle system, and I think there was one other thing. What was the other thing? Oh yeah, you get a lot less experience. I think the experience gets cut at least in half, if not more than that, when you use auto battle. So it's not really a system that I enjoy using, and I'm not going to use it for basically anything unless the game forces me to, so. Oh, it's gone. I was going to say, let's look at that, because they have ads on the left, center, and right here at the Pokemon Center now. I love that. That's awesome. I love getting advertised things that don't exist in my Pokemon game. But I was going to say, let's look at that one on the left that was there a minute ago, because there was a silhouette of a trainer that we probably know from Let's Go on there. There he is on the right side. Except, they drew him with baby hands. Look at how small those hands are. That's a grown adult. Those hands are supposed to be like able to grip the Pokeball. They're smaller than the Pokeball itself. What is that? God, it's like Uncanny Valley. Can I heal my Pokemon, please, instead of looking at this stuff? Anyway. So I think this team of 6 will probably be the ones that we keep for us going into the academy, and then we'll come back and we'll look for some more on the way around as we go here. So, yeah, not so much murder as it is fainting. Yeah, and I guess that's true. They'll faint and they'll come back later, but I don't know. It still rubs me the wrong way, I guess. So now our next destination is Mesagoza. We can go up the hill to do that, but I think what I might do is I might just kind of... Well, you know, I could go up the hill and just do a little bit of fighting with Interceptor while I'm going up there, since Interceptor's currently level 7, so we can have Interceptor doing a little bit. First, let's sell off our excess loot at the Pokemart. Another good quality of life thing that they did, you can now bulk sell items. So you can just press the plus button, and you can highlight any item that you want to sell, and sell that along with everything else. So I'm going to sell the X Defense, the rare candies. If I ever get doubles of TMs and I don't need the doubles, I'm going to sell those. The Gimme Ghoul coins that you got from before with the little Gimme Ghoul that we found under the bridge, they actually sell for 200 Pokédollars. So if you ever need any quick cash, these are probably not a bad idea to use. Although you do need 999 of them in order to get it to evolve later in the game, Gimme Ghoul, if you ever get one of your own. So at the same time as I'm recommending selling them, maybe don't sell them. It might not work out for you. So, all right. So that's that. I don't really need any items at the moment. I think I'm good in terms of like Pokeballs. I'll come back for more later. So I do want to walk up the hill here though. So before I know I just said we'll go back here a little bit later, but I want to walk up the hill here because if I remember correctly, there's a TM up here that I absolutely want. It's probably better to hold on to it and teach it to something else, but I'd like to have it for a fight that's coming up that will be a lot easier, and by easier I mean less annoying. That's not it. I know it's here somewhere. Maybe it's not here. Maybe it's over in a corner over there. Ah, the music changed. So now the music that's playing in the background is now the nighttime version of the South Province music. Normally this only happens when, well, it actually changes to nighttime, but it's not currently nighttime in the game. That being said, if the game's day-night cycle was actually working right now, it would be in nighttime. It's just because this is still the tutorial, the game's day-night cycle is not currently functioning. So, well, you can also slide down hills if you slide into them like that, so there you go. I think the TM that I'm looking for is actually over here. So I'm going to go over here. I said we were going to go over here later, and we will still, because I'm not going to fight anything while I'm over here, but let's go grab the TM that I'm looking for over here first. An Ice Heal Berry now, really? Yeah, I guess it's one of the new ones, but there aren't a whole ton of new Pokemon in the grass areas here, but in the flowers and over by the ruins that are over there, and maybe a little around the water too, there's more new Pokemon. Here's a completely new one right here. Well, it's from Gen 7, but it's, relatively speaking, a new one. It might not be bad for me to fight that one, actually, but I'll think about that in a second. After I get Rock Blast! This is actually going to be important simultaneously for the fight that I'm about to do and for a fight that we're going to do on our way up the hill. Because, well, it'll be useful for something. I'll just tell you what that use is when we actually get there. But let's go grab Rock Blast first. Going to teach it to Diglett. As far as I know, this is the only Rock Blast TM that you can find out in the field. You'll have to make it from materials after this, but I don't think that's a huge loss, honestly. Alright, but Diglett has Rock Blast now. Doesn't have a ground-type move just yet, but that's okay. We'll make it work, no matter what. Sorry, I get annoyed sometimes by those red dots, so sometimes I just, like, sort all my items as quickly as possible while I'm there. Now, there is an item up there. You're probably not supposed to be able to walk up this slope to get there, but if you angle this just right... No, that wasn't the right angle. I'm going to slide all the way back down. Try this again. There we go. You can grab this right away and grab a Zinc, which can be sold for, I think, 5,000 Pokédollars. And we're going to need all the money that we can get in just a few minutes once we get to Mesagoza, because there are some good things to buy up there. And there's a Scatterbug right behind me. Oh, I was going to say, did you disappear? You did not. You're right there now. I'm going to wait for you to turn your back before I do anything. I think that Scatterbug's gone. So I'm pretty sure you would... Oh, no, you're a Sunkern. Okay, I was going to say, never mind. This isn't what I thought it was going to be. I guess I'll catch the Sunkern while I'm here. You can also catch an Oricorio pom-pom style in this yellow flower patch, but since Sunkern's here, yeah, might as well catch it. Let's go, Interceptor. Let's do this. That wasn't a good first impression. What's your nature, anyway? Let's look while I'm thinking about it. Well, you got own tempo. That's nice. Ah, minus attack nature. That explains a lot, actually. Oh, the natures have been a bit of a meme this time, but that's okay. As I say, that's a Sunkern at level. You should be doing a little more than that, but no, that makes sense. Selling the rare candies, but they're rare, yes, and that's why they're valuable. You can sell the Pokemon materials. Yeah, you can do that too. Yep. Guess you could, in theory, grind for money now then if you ran out of money in trainer battles. Yeah, although in this game, money is no object. It's really hard to run out of money, I find. There's going to be a few times early on in the game where we might be a little low on funds, but you get so many items from just the sparkles that are out in the wilderness that it's really hard to run out of money in this one. At least that's the impression I get. I don't know how it is if you're prepping for like competitive play, but from a casual player's perspective, I will probably have 1 million Pokédollars by the time this game is over, and I will have nothing left to spend it on very easily. So I appear to have gained a captive audience. Hi there. I kind of actually love this feature where they just kind of gather around you, but it's simultaneously a silly little feature that I love and a feature that I hate because you can't feed any of these Pokemon, even if they're sitting there offering you encouragement in battle, like these Hoppip are just encouraging me by hopping around. You can't feed them. Why am I pissed about that? Because you could feed them in the game that came out before this one. You can literally throw Oran Berries in Legends Arceus to just feed Pokemon. Generally speaking, they're used to preoccupy the Pokemon so you can get a better angle and get a surprise attack on them, but you could literally just walk around and feed things in that game, and in this game you can't, and that makes me upset. I want to just make Oran Berries more common and then just let me run around feeding things that have question marks over their heads. Like, is that so much to ask? Really? As I really hope it's not. It doesn't seem like much. Anyway, enough rambling about that. Let's go back to Los Platos and we'll just kind of wander around over there. I don't think we'll quite get to... Is that a... No. Okay, I thought that was an item. I don't think we'll quite get... Like, I might go straight up the hill and do the last little fight that you could do up there before the stream's over, but... Because we only got about 15 more minutes before I want to start thinking about calling it. But, yeah, so we might just come back and do a whole bunch of fights later, basically. Because there's still quite a bit to do before we get to the academy, but not that much to where I need to worry about it. I should probably register my birthday, too, while I'm thinking about it. Yes, get that cha-ching. Just that. That indeed. Okay, so, let me think about this. How do I want to do this? Oh, good, another tip. Yeah, so if you didn't know how to change your outfit just yet, after the second time that you're at the Pokemon Center, Nurse Joy will let you know you can change your outfit by pressing left on the D-pad on the Switch, the left Switch controller. So, there you go. Oh yeah, I gotta sell the zinc. I guess I could sell it when we get to Mezagoza, though, because there will be other items that I need to pick up to sell later anyway. So, the yellow dialogue boxes that you saw there typically are used for shopkeepers, so if you see a yellow dialogue box, it's probably because they're selling something. That person in particular over there sells ice cream, so... Yeah, I think this one's too steep for me, fellas. I don't think I can walk up this one. Nope, it's not letting me. I almost did at this angle, but it can only get so far up, so... Love how I said I was going to check out Los Platos, and I basically just checked out the south, section of it. And nothing else. Oh, and I don't have to keep swiveling the camera like this, by the way. I'm swiveling it like that, but if you go like this and you want it to go straight behind you, I think it's L3? No, that's whistle. There is a way to... Is it L? Okay, yeah, it's the L button. You can have the L button... you can use the L button to just swing the camera directly behind you. Sorry. Yeah, you can use the L button to just swivel the camera directly behind you when you're, if it's out of the way. So like if you want to do this and then do this and then do that. That disorients me a little bit though, so sometimes I don't do that so much. No more Hapinis around here, huh? No extra experience for me, but I guess we get an experience candy there. You can find experience candies out in the wild. There's also a way to grind for them by doing... there's a certain type of fight that you can do later in the game that lets you grind for experience candies if you want them, but there's the deerling that I said we could get, but we couldn't find it afterwards. These Surskit, unfortunately, are not real. They are set dressing that you cannot capture here. They have to be out here. If I could catch them, it would be showing question marks, level, whatever above their heads, but you can't catch them. And if you wanted to catch them, you could try throwing a Pokeball at them, but if you do that, that happens. So, if you want a Surskit, sorry, you can't have it yet. It's a shame. I like Masquerade. Oops. You know, that's why I usually swivel the camera, because it's on L. My brain doesn't really think about the L button when it comes to camera, because it's so ingrained to just use the right stick for that stuff, so I just end up pressing R3, and that just moves the camera in and out. So, there was a Paralyze Heal in somebody's yard here, wasn't there? Or am I just misremembering? Is it here? No. Or did I just grab it and, like, totally gloss over it? I might have just grabbed it and glossed over it. Oh, well. Doesn't matter. It's not like we need an extra Paralyze Heal. We're going to get a whole bunch of them anyway. So. Hi there. Yeah, actually, going to be off to school in just a few minutes, so. Yeah, that's worth doing. It's worth saving at some points, that way you don't have to... Oh, okay, there we go. Don't have to worry about it if the game crashes. Because this game does crash sometimes. The open world is apparently not kind to the Switch, especially when Game Freak is the one spaghetti coating it, so... You know. Alright, well, what do I do for the last... Oh, it's almost 3 hours anyway. Okay, well, we only made it to Los Platos, but... I guess this is as good a place as any to just call it a day, because there's still a lot to do going up the hill. Interceptor needs some training. There are trainers to battle up here, and there's still quite a lot of Pokemon that we can capture along the way. I may go back towards that area where we got Rock Blast in before we head up to school, but I'm not 100% sure about that just yet, because there's another Pokemon that I'd like to capture before I really start gathering up experience for the team members that are going to be sticking around. So we'll see what I decide to do, and we'll figure that out by the time we get to the next episode of Pokémon Violet, the Stream Edition, which will be happening on Friday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And we'll probably catch a whole bunch of other Pokemon as well, because again, there's still quite a few to capture on the way to school, and the more we capture, the better off we'll be in terms of our catch rates going forward. So, thank you for watching, everybody. I appreciate you coming out to check out the stream. I'll see all of you on the next one, which, as I said, will be on Friday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Until then, everybody, take care, and have a good one. So you think Interceptor loves like a cat if I leave him alone? Let's find out. It's pretty chill about it, actually. I'm just waiting for him to all of a sudden get a burst of energy and get zoomies. Because that would be exactly dog enough of him. But if he's not going to do it... I mean, the camera's on, so usually they do it when they're not on camera, and then all of a sudden they stop when you put the camera on them. He's probably camera shy. Oh, there he goes. Thanks, buddy. Hopping all over me. Oh, and now he fell asleep at my feet. Hang on, can I zoom in without moving? This is going to be a good stream project. This is good luck.